So, are we ready for me to recap?
Yes.
Sí, señor.
Affirmative.
Excellent. I'm adjusting my lights. I'm going to take a big rip of weed, and then I've got a story to tell.
Siri, lights at 35%.
Tonight, our session opens on a room that's probably, honestly, on a D&D grid, it would probably be a single square or 4 squares at most. It's a very small room. Stone walls,
Broom
single
closet.
bed. Huh?
A broom closet.
No, maybe broom closet sized room, but not a broom closet. This is a bedroom. A single bed, a single dresser, a single desk. All of it very mundane styling.
What? Want to go get your bed?
A man sits at the desk. You all recognize this man. He, though you may not recognize him like this, his clothes is that of a student at a college, but a young student, first day of school kind of stuff. This is obviously a room in the school in town, but not one of the nicest rooms. And over this man's shoulder on the window is a wooden imp in the form of a tabaxi. And this wooden imp explains that after the marionettes left Baldur's Gate, they made their way to Candlekeep. At Candlekeep, they realized that they were no longer the marionettes, and they were, well, not necessarily no longer the marionettes, but they couldn't just introduce themselves as just the marionettes because they weren't in costume. They were in their regular selves. So they referred to themselves as Stone's Menagerie. Girk, is that it?
Yes, magical menagerie.
Mr. Stone's Magical Menagerie. They handed over a book or two, and the doors were open for them to Candlekeep, where they spent a few days learning the truth of everything that's gone down, of the deal that was made for El Terrell, of the deals their own friend was making. But they agreed the adventure needed to go forward, not just for the rescue of Raven Altergard, which is the reason they were going to Avernus in the first place, but simply because it's something that needed to be done. This, like, hell is apparently sucking cities into the ground. We have to deal with this. The Goliath everybody decided to bring the caravan along, but the Goliath decided he was going to make sure the caravan came along. So he decided to pop his mouth off at several members of their adventuring party. But in the end, it was proven that it's not popping your mouth off if your mouth is writing checks so that you can cash. He successfully proved that he had what it took to lead the people, and the people agreed. All right, fine, let's do this. The people made their way towards a pier that was a little more than a cliffside overlooking the ocean. In the meantime, the marionettes, still not in costume, the magical menagerie, made their way to Silvara Savakis? Jaime, is that the name? Salvira?
That sounds right.
Silvira Savakis. Savicus. Silvira Savicus.
Words.
Yeah. Who is a powerful witch in her own right, witch or wizard in her own right. This tiefling gave them access to griffins that let them make their way to an oil derrick. No, a wizard's tower in the middle of the sea. Ocean waves crashing around it. They flew into the landing. One of them took a nap with the griffins. He didn't seem to be feeling well, while the others made their way down into the tower itself. Upon entering the tower, they discovered that the wizard Traxagor was not only a powerful wizard, and they have every reason to believe him a very powerful wizard. He was also an otter.
Yep.
Who had once been a person. He didn't say what species, I don't think, but he said I was once a man, who had been polymorphed into an otter and then liked the condition so much he used a wish spell to stay that way. Polymorph is a high-level spell. Wish is a high-level spell. Dude was willing to use a wish spell on that. So, like, he's probably really sort of powerful, and we should watch out for him. The man at the desk takes note of all this that the imp is telling him. The imp goes on to say, while they're there, they met a Hierophant by the name of Lulu. This Hierophant revealed herself as to having been an ally to Zariel. Zariel is who we now know is not only the archdevil in control of Avernus, she is also the one who betrayed El Terrell in the first place and has a contract on their souls and sucked the city down. So one of the members of the party, the newest member of the party, Rowan, took exception to this and threatened this adorable little Hierophant. The imp giggles with delight at the idea of this Hierophant potentially getting its head blown off. But then it lets out a sigh. However, the Hierophant showed that not only had it no true memory remaining of the events events that transpired while in the presence of its old master. It did inform the party of a sword, the blade of Zariel herself, I believe. This sword is what I think you've been searching for, he says to the guy behind the desk. The guy behind the desk turns and looks and says, I want to be clear. I'm not searching for the sword to keep it. I'm searching for the sword to destroy it. But continue. The imp looks at the man, hisses, and says, either way, the members of the party have resolved to collect the sword so that it does not fall into the wrong hands. To that end, they have now learned that the Hierophant that hid the sword had an ally, but it doesn't remember who, that helped hide the blade. So now they know they need the ally to find the sword, whatever that means.
Yeah, I remember that now.
The otter Traxagor, who, to be clear, I'm certain was 100% I was aware that I was there, Master. The wizard Traxagor opened a gateway to Candlekeep, and at that point, all of the caravan made their way across the pier and into the wizard's tower. He has some sort of lobby, we'll call it, lobby of doors, where with the right incantation and spell work, he seems to be able to open portals, plane shift of some kind, at which point the marionettes made their way through. The magical menagerie made their way through and found their way to Avernus, with plan for the caravan to travel with them. They all still seem just as enticed. The man behind the desk looks up and says, so why aren't you with them? The imp looks up and says, well, sir, as you're familiar, I can follow your friends all you need me to. He doesn't say sir. He says, last whisper. I can follow your friends as long as you need me to, for we are the clan that follows. However, that only works on this plane. As you're familiar, so long as I'm your active familiar, I can't cross the plane to track them to report back to you. At which point, Felix turns around and looks at the imp and says, well, then it's good you're currently not my familiar. You see, in your report, you tell me that Rowan says you're building an army, and I'm not a fan of that. So looks to me like you get to go down below and not only check on my friends, but I don't know, maybe spend some time down there and learn that you don't build an army without talking to me first. Yeah, I have my own side story going on, a power struggle between me and my familiar. Let it go, guys. Just let it go. The imp says, well, how do you intend to do this? And it's real simple. Out of game. Jaime gave me a spell when we leveled. Flock of Familiars. So Felix opens his hand and casts this spell, and first, beside him to his left, a female imp appears. From the ground up, it's like a slow zoom watching this imp fill in. She's gorgeous. She might as well be a succubus. She's not yet. She could have been, maybe, if she'd have made a warlock pact, but a certain elf failed to take it. Gilwin, that's you.
Wait, what?
When we get to her face, however,
their own succubus.
when we get to her face, however, you guys know that Rowan attacked her. He interrogated her and reported back to you guys. So when we get to her face, we see that she is wearing a wooden mask with only the eye slits visible. Because if you remember, her wooden form was Fick to begin with. So now she wears a wooden mask of Fick's face as her mask. That's the first one that appears. But to the other side of the two of them, rapidly, rainbow-colored prismatic lights flicker into existence. How do I want to say this? They coalesce into something that first looks like a gem, but then the edges sort of rub off to give it a round. Huh?
I was trying to talk, but I forgot I was on mute. Real quick,
Oh, go ahead.
does the imp that has the wooden mask of my face, does my face on her mask do the anime expressions like my blank mask do?
Technically, your blank mask doesn't do it. You did that with your minor illusion.
But I'm asking, does she take on
So
that
hers can't change. So I realize hers can't easily change because you use minor illusion for yours. So what I decided to do is, instead of giving her an empty mask that's blank that does things like yours does, I gave her a mask that is just your actual gnome face made out of wood. Like, it's got a nose, a mouth. It looks like the Joker that stapled the face onto his face, but made out of wood.
I'm just checking.
I mean, she is an evil imp now. Come on.
Hampton Jack from Borderlands.
Yes. That's a good reference. Took me a second because I've never actually played Borderlands, but I know the character. Anyways, the gem, the sharp edges of the gem rub off, and it slowly begins to take the shape of an egg, which shatters, and out pops this little Spanish accented chicken and says, "Did you miss me?" But all you hear at that point, the other two familiars dissipate, because you see, Flock of Familiars allows me to summon 3 familiars, but only keep one of them around. The other 2, I cast a spell to summon them for an hour at a time, which means my imp can go back to hell, spy on you guys, and I can summon him for a report whenever we need a recap.
Excellent.
You're welcome. I thought it was a good plot device. Jaime, can Felix have an inspiration point for that? I think he's already got one, but
I was going to say, what does Felix need an inspiration point for?
I don't know, but I felt like that
He doesn't fail his first exam in school.
Well, to be fair, he actually already has. I've decided that he's got a whole lot going on. You guys got to remember, you guys have been gone for a week already. So I have a week of downtime to set aside to talk to Jaime about. And for all the time that we spend outside the game, like you were talking earlier, Wes, about, it's taken 2 years to play the game or whatever. When we started playing, all of us wanted more downtime to be added in and a bigger world to play in and everything like that. Anyways, I don't know. I'm excited to make use of the downtime. Take as long as you guys need to get to level 9 so that so that Felix has all those weeks of downtime to use.
Carl, this
Yep.
was my first module. I even said this at the beginning. I wanted to go on the rails, but I was outvoted because this is my first module ever.
Well, I mean, we're still on the rails that are the story. We're just not on. Actually, to be fair, we've only deviated from the story so far twice, and both of those were from the rails twice, and both of those were caused by the rails. So they were open-ended things that could happen. The magic bean that caused the giant adventure, and the island in the middle of the lake, or in the middle of the river.
And each one of those took like 6 months each.
They did, but each of those were caused by the existent rails, like because the bag of beans is an item in the game, so the game knew, written into the book, into the module, that ending up climbing up a beanstalk was a potential that could happen.
True, but the chances of it happening were astronomically small.
And
True.
yet they did.
True, but
And
there
yet
is
they
the
did.
fun. There is the fun, in my opinion, of a game that's accepts the rails as an existent thing. We know we're on a specific adventure, so we came in at zero session making our characters with the mentality of whatever happens, we will stick to the story. But just because we're sticking to the main plot of the story and trying to be the heroes of the main plot of the story does not mean we can't have stories of our own.
Yeah.
We'll end
Yeah,
up
and
in hell eventually.
I'm in no way, shape, or form upset about it. But I do distinctly remember saying I wanted to stick to the module. I didn't want anything extra.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we've used no other, like I say, side adventures so far that were not other books contain special side missions that can be added to modules. We don't have any of that so far. So far, you've technically won that argument, other than the astronomical chance of the beanstalk. Huh?
Other than the 2 times that I didn't.
But again, the astronomical chance was caused by the module. There's not much that could have been done about that.
Caused by the game at the very least.
So, like I said, I'm not angry.
That's why I say that, I guess, on a technicality, you have gotten what you wanted in that vote. But in reality, those 2 side tangents have detracted from your victory in getting that vote.
So.
When all else fails, blame the druid.
Damn right.
I would blame Felix. He's the one who told the druid to do it.
Felix isn't here right now.
Fair, and the druid's the tall one. Oh wait, Goliath's back. The druid's no longer the tall one. Fuck yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to blame the druid. I'm going to blame Ollie.
So right?
Yeah.
Wes, when
my
we
God.
were in Traxagor's lab, the otter wizard, which by the way, you missed out on the otter wizard. He was awesome. But he and Lulu the Hierophant are both tiny creatures. So 2 tiny creatures, plus my character, which is a small character, plus Girk's character, which is a small character, and just Cam's character as a tall character, a normal-sized character. And he's a fucking elf, so he looked like an unnecessarily wiry string bean guy standing next to a bunch of really tiny people.
Yeah.
Funny.
I'm at least 2 feet taller than all of you.
Except for Goliath.
It's probably a good thing that Goliath wasn't there. He'd have probably got shapeshifted into something unspeakable. Because...
Right.
Otter.
Yeah. Oh! Puppy!
Fair. I think so. You have above average intelligence either way. So I think you would have recognized that Puppy, yes, but also really powerful person.
His intelligence is not above average. His intelligence is a flat 10.
So average.
Well, that's still an average person is gonna be like, puppy, walk over, pet his head, get zapped, and be like, okay, maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Except that knowing Goliath, he would have saw that as a threat and tried to attack.
And then it would all been over.
That's why I said it's probably a good thing Goliath didn't come with.
Exactly.
Bad puppy,
Yeah.
bad.
So where we left off, you guys have been given the full recap now, Wes. But where we left off, we had all gone through the portal. I had gone in, quote, I had rabbited. I had gone in ahead of everybody else, fast as I could, darted down an alley, jumped on a rooftop, and it changed into my Tallyman form. So I'm up on the rooftop, but everybody else is walking in, and we had made a joke about Thick being pantsless or being naked. I want to be clear, it was not Girk that said his character was naked. It was me. So do not assume his character is just randomly naked.
My character's randomly naked. It's just made out of metal.
I mean,
That's one big metal rod right there.
Wes needs to get bonked.
Okay, well, after you enter, or after you enter Avernus, let's see. I guess I can read this again. A hot, stinging air assaults your senses. The city street in which you stand in is lined with buildings that are crumbling, if not already collapsed. The ground shudders beneath your feet. In the red, smoky sky, a 400-foot diameter sphere of darkness discharges strokes of bluish-white lightning that strike the city at irregular intervals. Perched atop a distant bluff, overlooking the rest of the city, is a crumbled fortress. Traxidor gazes up at the black orb nervously. And begins uttering his arcane syllables to shut the gate behind you.
are you handing the ball to us, Jaime?
As the gate closes, he wishes you, as the gate closes, he wishes you good luck. You can, or Lulu knows how to get a hold of me if you need to leave.
Oh, thank God. That was going to be my next question.
Oh, did my server crash?
No, I see the message that you just sent.
Oh, there it goes. It's just lagging.
Is the ball in our court now, Jaime?
Yes, you have a few minutes to get adjusted before anything happens.
We could roll initiative to see who wants to go first and getting adjusted to the fact that we're in hell. Start the communication line. Does that work for you guys?
Sure.
Does that work for you, Jaime?
Yes, and
Dirk is muted.
there's a reconnect. Or there's a disconnect, reconnect.
Sorry, yeah, that works for me.
Damn internet.
Also,
What's up,
upon
guys?
entering,
The internet's doing something screwy. Mine is.
I think it's Jaime.
I think it's
So
me?
it's something on his end lagging.
Yeah. So both his Discord and the server's messed up.
According to Oreo, our internet is dropping.
I wondered. It sounded like Jaime's audio got weird for a second.
Okay, yeah. I just disconnected.
That would be terrible though, because suddenly your wizards are raging and they can't cast any freaking spells.
Yep.
That's terrible. Why would you want to do that?
Because he's supposed to be an inconvenience.
I would fire you from the party. I'd be like, we're gonna go find somebody else, and then suddenly you have to roll another character because we fired you, and your current character went off and joined the bad guy because we fired you and you were mad about it. But that's okay, because when we get to the final boss fight, when you're so mad and you show up to help us, you're gonna rage all of the boss's enemies, and of course, are all of the boss's allies and the boss himself, which makes it easier for us to kill him. So in the end, we're gonna high five you and be like, we knew you were on our team the whole time because you just got him killed.
So it looks like my connection has returned.
Yay!
Hooray!
Hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Yeah, as it was dropping, Oria said, "Yeah, our internet's falling." And I'm like, "What? Oh no, guys, my internet is falling. Disconnected. Waiting to reconnect."
Yeah, we didn't even get that much from you. We just got static.
Yep. Jaime, do you mind if we roll initiative for the talking stick?
Go ahead.
18. I rolled technically earlier, but it was when everything was crashing, so I just re-rolled it. I can give you the one from earlier if you would prefer.
21.
No, that is fine. And am I rolling for Fick?
Yes, please.
Fick got an 8.
Wah.
Womp womp womp.
So,
Gear.
before anyone does anything really quick, as soon as Lulu enters Avernus and looks around, she starts talking like something is jogging her memory. The Zariel I knew is gone, replaced by a devil with the halo of fire and vengeance. This is who I am, she told me. When demons die, they cry out my name in terror. Those were Zariel's last words to me.
So obviously nobody can hear me, so I'm soliloquying to myself because I'm off to the side on the roof. I whisper to myself, how do I want to word this? Zariel's last word. So she says Zariel's last words are when they die, they cry out my name.
Yes, well, this is who I am, and then when demons die, they cry out my name in terror.
You know what? I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. I will wait till my turn.
Okay. Initiative starts with...
else wants to.
I was gonna say initiative starts with Goliath.
I make some random comment on how it smells like my mother's cooking. And then I pass turn.
Whoops. Does that make it me then?
Gilwin.
Hang on. Why is that not turning on? Thank you. Stupid light.
I don't know how to react.
You can also pass turn. It's just the talking stick.
Yeah, I'll just pass turn. The wait and see druid strikes again.
The wait and see druid. All right, now who's initiative?
Now it's yours.
You guys suck. I feel like this party would do nothing if I didn't randomly be like, all right, I gotta take some talking stick here and do something. Or Fick would go kill everything that got in his way. One of the two things would happen.
Yeah.
I would pet things. Things get petted.
Wow, I love you guys. You guys are my favorite. Um, screw it. I'm just going to join the adventure already in progress. Tallyman leaps, takes a flying leap off the roof that he's on. Whatever. Jumps back into the street in front of the party. I return myself to the party because I obviously have to if I want things to get moving. And I say to Lulu, all who are worshipped are given power through their name. We cannot fault her. Oh, I have to describe myself when I appear, so I'll do that in a second. I land in front of you, and the first words out of my mouth are this before I finish describing myself. All who... What did I say? What was the last thing I say? All who are worshipped are done so in their own name. For her to have fallen with so much darkness crying out to her, it is no wonder she saw it as praise. That's how I word it. It is no wonder she saw it as praise, aka, can we really fault her for becoming the leader of hell when all of these creatures died in hell screaming her name? She's a religious icon. Like, that's how religious icons are worshipped, is in their name. So while being in hell, it was basically her destiny to fall. So can we fault her for that? But the man that jumped down off the roof, I just kind of forgot I have to describe, is in half plate mail armor. This half plate mail takes the form of a trench coat that drags the floor, and it's got, so modern battle armor, tack armor, is pockets that have ceramic plates in them. Anybody that's been in the military or been, in any sort of combat type of scenario can basically describe how it works, that it's pockets that plates fit into. And once the plates get fucked up, you can actually replace the plates and it's still, usable, but the plates are what the armor is. That's how this guy's armor works, is that once it's flipped over, you can see that there are basically just tiny little pockets all the way down it that are filled with, you can see the way it swings, that they're filled with something heavy. It's metal, it's half plate armor. The clothing itself is, I've decided, jet black, all the way to the floor. You can see his boots beneath it that he wears. These boots are ridiculously huge metal armored greaves. Now, obviously, out of game, they're ridiculously huge metal armored greaves because they have to fake that his legs look normal, that are not like disjointed because he jumps. He's got rabbit feet. So the whole thing is designed to look like just big armored knight's boots, even though in reality they're simple boots to help him still jump. His
I forgot
face.
he was a rabbit.
Come up to his head. He's wearing like a full helmet sort of rig. The hat of the helmet itself, the part that sits over his dome, is, think Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat. Not Liu Kang, Kung Lao, the giant wide-brimmed Asian hat with the blade around the outside. That's what he has. It's a leather hat with a metal edge around the outside and a metal, I want to say like ridge going over the top that acts as armor, basically, to hold the whole hat together. And then to the left and right of that, where his ears would normally be, are giant golden feathers that stick back off of it, almost like the Flash's helmet. This disguises that he has rabbit ears. His mask itself is an Oni-style grin, like Asian Oni style. This reveals to you that he is much like my other character, which we know they're the same guy, but much like Rowan, is a Knight of the Weave. This is the mask style of the Knight of the Weave. But the cool thing in this is his glasses, which I rolled these on a random table at game creation. His eyes, he's actually wearing glasses that look like if somebody had taken a butterfly and just taken like one wing and set that over the bridge of his nose. Okay, they are shaded red, crimson. But he can open the crimson and fold it up so that it looks like a butterfly just sitting on his nose, with the top half crimson and the bottom half clear. So it's like the 90s style shades where the sunglasses that clip onto your glasses flip up. He has that, but his glasses are shaped like a butterfly wing. Because of what I rolled on my random table, you guys know like who the tally man is, aside
Oh,
from the
his
fact that my
glass-
character. Go ahead.
So his glasses are Elton John's rejects.
They're very Elton John stylized. I rolled them on a random table and decided to say, how can I make this look cool? I think it works well for my style.
I like him.
It makes me have this Fey Knight sort of thing, and it reflects crimson light. I sort of picture, when I look at his face, I sort of picture Orin from Final Fantasy X.
Okay. Sorry, I missed a whole bunch. I was getting sick.
Oh, sorry, buddy. I can re-describe his appearance at another time. I don't want to go through it again, but I wanted to make sure, since he's finally been character, this is what he looks like.
Yeah.
Out of game, like if you guys want to know that he's the tally man just from his appearance, just at arrival, the story of the tally man, as it was rolled randomly, when you create a faceless character, you roll and pick, one of 6 things that are, a hero of a nationality, that sort of thing. The way my character works is that if you look at nursery rhymes, he existed in nursery rhymes. The tally man just has always been there. He collects the fallen of battlefields, but he doesn't just collect, as I've said before, the fallen on the battlefield. So soldiers that die at home, they've survived the battlefield, they make it home. This is the guy that says in nursery rhyme that he is the one that collects those guys still. They refer to him as the last survivor of every battlefield. There have probably been sketches of him with nursery rhymes. My character has taken on this visage of him. Obviously, my character is not the tally man of legend, but hey, that's the point of taking on the face of a legend. Is that. So that's the persona that he's taken on, is this nursery rhyme that was told to scare people. So you can choose as players if you would recognize him. Huh?
Is he still recognizable as a rabbit?
No, he is not recognizable as a rabbit.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you could roll a check if you feel a reason to justify checking to see if he looks like a rabbit, and then I would obviously have to roll a deception check. But intentionally, I have tried to avoid him looking like a rabbit. Like, I've tried to hide that.
It's
I'll
the
respect
really,
that.
really big metal greaves.
So do you guys decide you would know who the tally? Also, like I said, Rowan said the tally man would be on your side if you encountered him. So,
And had
You could
mentioned
say
the
you
tally man
recognize him
several
from-
times.
I'm going to put 2 and 2 together. I'm going to
2
put
and 2 together.
Yeah.
That he's a good guy or that he's Rowan.
But he's Rowan.
If you do, I will kill you, and by that I mean you, Girk. We talked before I started playing this game. I asked if you guys could do the suspension of disbelief for the Clark Kent thing that I want to do with this character, and you guys all said yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, I forgot that. No, I will totally. That he's a good guy.
Don't get me wrong. I expect you guys to figure it out eventually, but let me have some fun with it first.
Fair enough.
And I have decided that the only one in the party that knows so far is Thurkir. Thurkir already knows.
You're quite
One,
you are quite acrobatic for such big greaves. And that's all my character says.
oh, my character is also, with all the armor on and everything, about 4 foot tall, just shy of 4 foot tall. So he looks up at you and says, "Thanks." And that's it. Just thanks. And then he starts walking past you guys to get behind you. Now, I can pass the talking stick if other people want to interact. Because you guys see me making my way towards the caravan.
Where are you going?
I look back at you and I say, well, obviously, the most defensible position is that fortress upon the hill. And I point at the fortress that Jaime had pointed out in his description. And I say, however, if this is your first time in Elturel, I must assure you there are dangers everywhere. Not just from the demons and devils we may encounter, but also from the monstrosities of people that may have decided to use this as an opportunity to do their worst within the city. I look around, arms wide, at the gesturing at all of the like crumbling apocalypse site of the city around us. And I say, we have brought you have brought a caravan of not only soldiers, but of scholars, people out of game. Felix, some of these people in the caravan came from the school. So they're not all fighters. We don't have soldiers in our party. So he says, they must find one of these buildings and they must fortify it. We should probably take at least a 10-day, gather our supplies. And he sort of looks around, looks back at you guys, and says, and cordons the block. Out of game, my idea here is we've got to tell them to like lock down. We'll be the scouts to go and see if we can find a way to other allies within the city. And once we find a way, we move the caravan with us. This way, Jaime doesn't have to have us being constantly followed by the caravan unless he wants to. But also, this gives an excuse for several things. Role play within the camp with the NPCs Jaime created, which I've read them. I don't know if you guys have, but some of them are awesome.
Yeah, I have.
Jaime also created within those NPCs. Some I'm sure were intentional. Other ones I don't know if you realized because he doesn't know what all the things we've all discussed without him that are going to be great story hooks for downtime training. For instance, right now I had been worried about you guys training downtime as warlocks without Felix there because you guys don't have anybody that's a base class warlock. Well, Jaime put a warlock in the caravan. So that's an opportunity for you guys to have somebody to train under if you want to raise those levels in downtime. Out of game, I'm still of the mentality that we want to use downtime to expand the story. I know that time is of the essence and everything in game, which is why I think like justifying that we only spend a 10-day here or a 10-day there, aka 2 weeks of downtime, doing little things, that will expand the world of the game while still keeping us on those rails of, okay, move forward. So that's why my character suggests I'm going to tell the caravan to bunker down, secure one of these buildings. We'll scout and come back. You know, any survivors we find, we bring back here until we can move them all to the fortress. Also, Gilwin and I had been talking about how fun it would be to have like an arena version of the game. If we have 2 weeks of quote unquote downtime while we're playing scouts, it gives Jaime the opportunity to make rolls to build just the quote unquote random encounters, which I'm sure I don't know actually. The other modules for D&D include a list of if they spend so much time in this area, roll on this chart, these type of monsters attacks. I don't know if this campaign has that, but if it does, it'll help Jaime in that. If not, it's real easy to just throw devils at us. Because Jaime has some nights where he is also like, I'm too stressed to game because, work happened or whatever, where in those scenarios, he could literally just, okay, guys, I'm just going to run a monster tonight. It's a monster of the week where you guys are going to find him on an alley and you guys are going to fight him. And then Jaime just has to run like the environment and the loot, basically, while we fight the creature. Yeah. So this is me out of game trying to create that opportunity, but in game trying to stick to just the justifiable back of we brought this caravan, we can't lead them through the city into every single fight. We have to make sure they're safe, then find the target, or our allies here, wherever they're bunkered in, the resistance, whatever exists here, and then move the caravan to join said resistance. I keep picturing it sort of like the camp in Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 specifically.
My character would totally agree because I already promised to do what I could to keep these people safe. So
it also justifies, this player couldn't show up tonight. He must be back at the camp.
Fair.
So it's up to you guys if what you guys want to do with that as far as out of game rules, but in game, my character would suggest a 10-day, aka two downtime, to basically secure a block.
Go house to house and set up a perimeter and
Yeah. Basically, we would secure one building that we were sure the caravan could stay in, and then we would secure a perimeter beyond that and basically secure the block. To me, 10 days is make it like a tower, so it's secure. Yeah, our stronghold. Fortify it.
Yeah, just a RS.
I turn
a forward operating base.
I turn around and explain this to you, but I look directly at Thick, because my character still views Thick as Stone and the guy that is in charge, and says, "Look, I am gifted with lots of tactical experience. I am willing to help you here, but I am not going to babysit civilians."
Okay.
No,
Just
that's my
give you-
job. I will build the fort. Keep them safe.
Very good. And he looks at, so Thick, the reason he looks at you is because you're the guy, like I said, in charge. He says,
No, say when he says I will not babysit civilians, and I'll say, good, then I don't have to underpay you and give you a ride home.
utter silence comes from my character. He actually rolled the flaw that he has no sense of humor. Utter silence comes from him. He doesn't realize how that was funny. So he just doesn't say anything at all. And he says,
Gillen blinks.
he says, "If you agree with me," and he looks over at Goliath, who just did, "secure the caravan. I will take to the rooftops, and I will, out of game, roll an investigate or perception check." I think I'd like to do it with investigate. I'm trained in both, so it doesn't really matter. But to basically find a building that seems the most secure, aka use my hopping around, find an alley or a building that's backed into a like a box canyon of other collapsed buildings, but somehow it's still secure, so there's only one way out or something like that. I don't know. I'm not the tactician that my character is, so I'm hoping I can make some sort of check, Jaime, to find the building. Find a building to put the caravan in. Are you still there, Jaime?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure out how to process everything. That was a lot of words.
It was a lot of words. I guess, Jaime, are you? Does that help you if we decide to camp out the caravan so that they're not trying to follow us through the city? I don't know how many events need to occur in the city before we get to our destination.
I mean,
Plus, like I said, it gives us chances to role play with all those NPCs you created, which some of them are really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to meet the pirate.
like, normally I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I believe that this campaign actually has some kind of timetable. From what I was reading, I've been scanning the thing, and time is of the essence. In a 10-day, you would, or the campaign might be over.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Originally, as discussed in Zero Session, we were ignoring the normal time frame of the campaign. As was explained to me by Wes, we were ignoring the normal time frame of the campaign with intent to add downtime because this campaign doesn't normally allow it. So that's why I've spent so much time actively creating these downtime things. If we are given an awareness in game that within 10 days the world could be over, my character probably would have ditched the party a while ago and just gone after the gold, so to speak. But like I said, from day one, we've been trying to extend that timeline because the game doesn't normally have a lot.
Yeah, when I was
So,
role-playing it, I was trying to make it an undefined amount of time, not strictly based off book.
So we were supposed to role play and feel like we were caught on a timetable, but like still have time to really explore the world and do what we need to. But like I say, if you want us to just get down to the nitty gritty, let me know and I'll totally change my role play style. But at which point I would just say, all right, secure them in that building. Let's fucking go, guys. But that's why I've spent so much time researching all the downtime stuff.
Did I lose you guys?
Nope, still here.
No, I'm evaluating what needs to be done. Like, I wasn't expecting you to want to bunker down for 2 weeks and trying to figure things out.
Are you kidding me? I wanted to bunker down at Candlekeep for 2 weeks.
Didn't you technically do so?
No,
He's
you
wanting
had
to
us bunker
chill out
down
in
for
the
2 days. Because that's what it allotted for, was 2 days. It said something, you read it straight from the book, and it said something like, if the players want to research devils, they can spend a few days here doing that. And so that's what we did.
Fair enough.
Welcome back, Jaime.
You
Wes,
don't want to do that. You don't want to do that unless we're about to get a rest.
For sure. Wes left. He wasn't feeling good. So he said for us to just let him know what you decide.
Understood. Okay, so I was looking through, and I actually can't find a timetable for the doomed fate of El Terrell, which is good. But I do feel like the longer you tarry, the more consequences I will have to give.
Now that I completely agree with. The only thing I would ask, and it's sort of how we had worked it out in the original Zero session, is that either an in-game or out-of-game sort of doom clock can appear. Something that like warns us, okay, you've tarried a little long, move forward. You know, so that we're sort of warned. If you're willing to give us the little bit of time, that would be helpful, because then we would know like not to dally any further. You know.
Right. I will go ahead or I'll be happy to give y'all a week to try and get your bearings.
Okay.
But there is something that is happening immediately after you've acclimated, like right now.
Okay, that's totally fine. I wasn't trying to cause any issues with that. Just so you know, I was telling the guys I feel bad. I wasn't trying to make anything more difficult. I promise.
No, I understand, and I know that 100%. That's the issue with running a module, because it expects you to go bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I think there's only like 1 or 2 modules that already have downtime written into them, because downtime was a suggested rule to begin with, and now it's an expected rule in the modules.
Right.
So, okay. Well, a week is fine. I mean, I thought it was a good opportunity, like I said, to roleplay. But what's happening now? Would you like us to roll new initiatives, or like, boom, let's go. I'm ready.
By the way, that is El Terrell.
I don't have the map or picture. If you have a map,
I put it into Discord.
Gotcha. Ew.
You or the group ended up appearing on the west side of this, or east side of the city, kind of northeast of where that clearing is with the market.
Mm-hmm. In one of the red areas, or is that lava? I can't zoom in very far on my phone.
Not in one of the red areas. I kind of wish I kind of wish I had the ability to edit this image now. But northeast, maybe about 1 or 2 major intersections. There's a thick road that goes from east to west.
Mm-hmm.
You're at that intersection.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Cam, you have the shared map.
Yes.
So you can see the marker is. Do you think that was an apt description?
I think so.
Cam, can you share the screenshot, the shared map, and put it onto the Discord? Or I mean, one of you.
Oh no, that would have been the smart thing for me to do.
Normally, Wes does it, and that's kind of been his go-to, but since he isn't here. I actually saw a meme today, Jaime, that made me think of you, and I failed to share it, and I apologize. I'm going to go hunting for it. But it literally said, here's to the GMs that roll their characters' dice for them because their player could only get into Discord.
Oh yeah.
I like the one I shared for Girk, though. Player's in the hospital. Gets on Discord even though he's in the hospital.
Right. I got some funny looks when I did that.
Well,
Oh,
and it
I'm
even
sure.
worked better because it was Kermit the Frog, Girk. So, like, you and Kermit the Frog, I love you, man. Kermit is now officially how I see you.
It ain't easy being green. Although, if you want to get down to a puppet that I'm closely associate with, I grew up being
Alf.
Elmo.
Oh.
When I went to be a camp counselor at the cancer camp, the kids started calling me Elmo, and it sort of stuck.
Nice.
Is somebody getting that screenshot for me?
I'm trying to figure out how to do it. My computer won't let me just take the screenshot.
That's
I
weird.
need to
screen.
remember to charge my damn laptop.
Oh, is it that one? Wow. Wait. Nope, still didn't work.
Don't worry about it, I'm getting it.
Oh, there was something I left out of my description of my character, but that's okay. We'll see it when we enter combat. Because I'm assuming we're about to enter combat. So when we're done gaming tonight, I'm gonna probably be gaming with Sue.
Nice.
Nice.
It's awesome. We tried once before, but then life happened and we haven't been able to get back to it. And last night she actively asked me, "Oop, Jaime, you shared the same picture again."
No, I didn't.
No, it's got
Oh,
words
that
on
one's
it.
got labels. Characters arrive here. Gotcha. That's cool. That is exactly where I thought you meant. I thought when you said shared map, I thought you meant you actually had a grid map out. My apologies. I just made you do all that work because I was expecting a completely different type of map.
Ah,
Out of game, be careful sharing the GM map like that, though. Torm's Blade, Torm's Reach, High Hall, all those things.
well, the reason why I was okay with sharing those is because those are just names of locations.
Yeah, and I mean, to that end, I mean, my character technically lived here for 3 years, so he would probably know those things anyways.
Exactly.
But I just, in case you hadn't realized, I wanted to make sure I stated out loud.
Copy.
So, okay, well, whatever's going to happen now, we're at that intersection. I start to walk through the party and be like, hey, we're going to deal with the caravan. Everybody's like, hey, where you going? I explain what my issue is with the caravan, tell them to bunker down. I say we need to give it a week and then move forward, but we need to build a beachhead. I'll take to the rooftops and find us a building. And as I head towards the rooftops, GM coin drop.
Okay, what is everyone's passive perception?
15.
Let me look. 17.
I don't know how many. You're gonna have to look at mine.
Yours is 14.
I've been doing a lot of research into how passives work, just so you know. And I have found out that if we're ever in a situation where we would have advantage or disadvantage and you don't want us to know that, Jaime, and you ask for our passives, With advantage, it's on specifically on perception, insights, whatever. It's a +5 to our passives. With disadvantage, it's a -5 to our passives.
Cool.
So if you have something there that says they would see this, but they have to make the check with disadvantage, and you're asking for our passives, it would just be a -5 from whatever our passive is. But I just wanted you to know that.
I appreciate it. Gilwin, you see movement.
Like tiny movement, or
Like people running
Where does
movement.
he see movement?
like people running movement? That is something important enough to at least draw somebody else's attention to. Who's closest to me?
Probably Fick.
Yeah, I'm on your back if you're in bear form.
Well, no, I'm not in bear form, but
You could be on his back anyways. There's no rules against
Yeah.
mounted. It's size. You just don't get a
Yeah.
movement, basically, so long as you're on his back, you use his movement.
I mean,
That
it's
works.
been established that you ride my back a lot. Anyway,
Actually, I
gonna-
ride Goliath more often now because he's bigger than you, but he's not here right now.
yeah. Well, if you're on my back, then I would have said, "Hey, did you see that?" And point in the direction of the movement that I saw.
I mean, it
That
would sound
would be-
like Gurks do for an active perception against
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say
movement.
that's an active perception. And would it be an advantage being that he's pointing in the direction to look at?
No, because you only were acknowledged that it existed because he pointed.
Okay.
So that basically negates the need for advantage there. It'd basically be like you have disadvantage and advantage at the same time.
Ooh.
With a 23, Fick does see or does happen to catch the tail end of the movement.
Am I able to tell what it was?
It looked like, it looked like the heel of a human.
Okay.
Do you want to follow him?
Yes.
He's running.
Give chase.
Give chase, noble steed.
We're acting out of initiative, so at the moment, is everybody okay if I kind of have a cinematic moment with the fact that you guys decide to go give chase?
Sure.
The moment you guys turn to run off, you feel something slap around your wrist with a light sting, Cam, and it's a whip that just came from my character's hand. Didn't even look like he was holding one, but his hand dripped out of his sleeve with a whip on it, and it wrapped around your wrist. And he would say, "Hold," and he would look at Goliath, and he would say, "To the camp, protect the caravan," and then he would look at you guys. That way Goliath doesn't have to be here. And he would look at you guys and say, or specifically Stone, and say, "Look, you'll forgive my impertinence, but as we travel onto the battlefield, you have to decide where your loyalties lie, because I have to decide who it is I stand with. You are Gherkinstone," I would say that, which you know is obviously not your name, but I know that's the leader of the quote-unquote marionettes. So he would say, "You are Gherkinstone. Will you ride into battle with your face or as a marionette?" Because right now we're still not in costume, which means right now anything we do goes up to the party. Our own names get legendary as opposed to you becoming your god.
I would definitely don the marionette. All combat and action is done by the marionette.
I figured I just wanted to cause an out-of-game roleplay moment to be like, "Hey, by the way, get in costume."
It's definitely gonna be one of those. Hey, look over there. Is that a MacGuffin? And you turn back, and I'm in costume.
It takes a little longer than that to put on a costume, but I respect it. Now, this is what I feel like I see. You do the MacGuffin. I look. you throw a minor illusion up of you in costume while you're standing behind the minor illusion actually putting your costume on, and nobody else can tell you're still putting on your costume because you're behind your minor illusion.
There you go.
There you go.
So basically you threw up a cardboard cutout that everybody's looking at that you're standing behind, but a magical cardboard cutout.
But it works.
I
like
it.
I throw up a
sort of love it a lot. I think I currently have an inspiration point. I'm gonna give mine to Girk if he doesn't have one.
I think he does.
Do you have one, Girk?
I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. I never get to give these things away. All right. Forward we move. We all basically, they all mask up as we start moving forward, but I think this probably is like a good a time to roll for initiative as any for our quote unquote encounter initiative.
Agreed.
For a wait and see druid, he likes to get the highest initiative of the day.
I rolled a 25.
Huh. I rolled a 23.
Ha! What's your initiative modifier?
4.
I'm pretty sure my character has the highest initiative modifier.
I rolled a 19.
So did I.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a +6 to my initiative modifier. And currently, when I get my second wizard level, my plan is to go Wizard of Scribes. Any of my plans for leveling for any of my characters may change based on roleplay, things we encounter. Right now, it's very likely he's not going to go Scribe. He may go War Magic. And if he goes War Magic, depending on the events that happen in Hell, his initiative modifier will actually jump to a +10.
Nice.
So I'm one level away from that decision. Like, I'm already a level 1 wizard. That's a level 2 wizard decision.
Get 11 or higher on your initiative.
Yeah, I have a passive 20 initiative. But either way, I assume I go first. I don't know where Girk's initiative was. So while they're getting changed, I would move forward after whatever they were pointing at. But I would only make it as far as like the intersection because I obviously didn't see whatever it was they were pointing at. So I would get to that intersection and I guess use my action to make an investigate check to look for clues to whatever they were pointing at. How's that work, Jaime?
That works.
Skills. Investigation. 22.
Okay. So you can see it clearly. Around the corner of the still standing structure hides a woman with 2 toddlers, one in each arm. On the other side of the intersection, you see 3 infernal monsters with glaives and snake-like beards. The fiends are laughing darkly.
Are they snake? So are these bearded devils like we've seen before?
Affirmative.
Is one of them the bearded devil we saw before? Because Felix isn't here, and I feel like I would miss my chance. I'd be real sad.
They are not.
Okay. Well, obviously, I spent my action to enter the event. They're laughing. I literally I'm in the middle of whatever the intersection is. If they're on one side and she's on the other side, I wink at her over my glasses as I come past and turn to look at them. Sup? And I literally, no fear on my face, just, what's up? As I say that, however, metal, I described it to guys before, but it's a looks almost like a metal butterfly. It's about the size of a shield, but it's just a thin metal frame. Insect crawls down my arm, and it takes basically the shape of a kite shield on my arm. Out of game, Jaime, so you know that's actually my homunculus servant. It is riding me as a mount. By doing that, we both provide each other partial cover, giving us, quote unquote, a shield modifier of +2, which is the equivalent of wearing a shield.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have to wear a shield to wear a shield.
Neat.
Out of game,
Like
if I were to have a mount that I rode, I provide a 2 to it and a 2 to this thing. However, they would provide 2 levels to me, giving me a +5, which is the equivalent of a +3 magic shield. So
Wow.
that is how characters who can't use shields can get shield bonuses. Now, that said, I can still wear a shield, but at the moment, I'm not. That thing is on my arm. It moves, for anybody watching, you don't see it move once it's in place. It looks like a shield. But it does subtly move. For anybody paying attention, anybody with a high enough insight check, it looks like a stick bug. The way stick bugs move on trees, and then, oh no, somebody spotted me, so they like pretend they're not moving. That's the way it looks as it sits there. Out of game, Jaime, so you know what it is. I explained to them. It's a music stand, basically. It's a lectern, and at the top of it is where my because your homunculus servant is usually one of your magical tools, aka like a cauldron or something like that. This is my book stand. My spell book for wizardry is on it, and in this case, my spell book is a spell shard, but same thing. So there's a crystal sitting on it where like a spell book would sit. That's where I read my spells from. This thing has a tail that runs up my back to my shoulder, and sitting on my shoulder looks like I have a gun, like a flintlock or a blunderbuss like pistol. Like it's a big rounded opening thing, and it would look right at one of the devils and fire as my bonus action.
Okay.
I don't know if we have surprise on these guys, but if we do, I'm going to take it.
You do not.
I think I'm just going to have to roll this plane. I don't know that I have a thing for it. Wait a minute. I know how to look at this. Edit character on website. Sorry, I'm looking at my character in Beyond. And inside the Beyond app, it's shit. But if you go to the website with it, the app works a lot better. Extras. Homunculus Servant. 4 strike is a ranged attack +4, but it's gone up because my thing has gone up. So +6 to hit. Range 30 feet. 1 target I can see. 1d4 +4. So D20. Stupid thing. Roll. +6. 22 versus AC, Jaime?
That's a hit.
Okay. I'm actually going to go ahead. Actions. First time I deal damage to a target in a turn, I can trigger my favored foe, which is a bonus D4 damage. And anytime, once per turn, the first time I hit him in a turn, he'll take a bonus D4 damage. I can also trigger my Genie Wrath, which is +3 damage. Once per turn, it's a bonus 3 damage. And then I can spend a psionic point to do a D6 +4 bonus damage. So all told, it's still not a lot. It's a D4 to start with, you know. But all told, it starts as, what did I say, a D4 +4. So 2D4 +4, 2D4 +7, 2D4 plus a D6 +11.
That's a lot of dice.
19 damage. It's a lot of little dice, but in the end it adds up.
It's a lot of little
19
dice, yeah.
damage. It's
you
like,
rolled an 8
and to
with
be
the dice.
clear, the power level of the shot that actually hit him, it's like watching Angemon, but not Angemon. What's the little one that turns into him, Jaime?
Patamon?
Takimon, something like that? Huh?
Patamon?
Patamon, yeah. When he does boom, bubble, pop, that's what comes out of the gun. pop, and when it hits, all of this other psionic energy comes out of me and channels it because it counts as. Thanks to the new errata rules, in case anybody's wondering, Cam, your wolves, when you summon wolves, those count as an attack from you.
Really?
Because they're your wolves. You summoned them. Yes, they count as one of your attacks. If you have a spell on a creature that affects based upon your attacks, that's all changed now. Under all of these new rules that got adjusted that affected alignment and everything else, they added errata to basically uncomplicate what spells, what things interacted with each other. And if it comes from you, it comes from you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Meaning your characters, your summons and shit, they are there because of you. They exist. Their attacks count as technically your spell attacks, even if they use a weapon or their mouths. It still counts as a quote unquote spell attack from you. There's, frankly, it kind of convoluted some things, but it does make other things more awesome, like the stacking damage I just did.
Interesting.
And
I don't have a lot of those modifiers, but
you do actually. You just haven't figured out how to use them yet.
yeah, fair enough.
I don't know who's after me in initiative, but yeah, sup, shot in the face. I look down the alley to my guys and just like point. Sorry, to Fick and Gilwin, and then point at the bearded devils. And then I look back at the bearded devils and pass turn.
All right, I'm working on getting you a map so you can tell me which one you hit.
I mean, I was going to trust you to it, but I respect that. Somewhere out there really should just be like a grid for Fantasy Grounds. That's it, just a blank grid. That way, when we have to do stuff like this, where it's just sort of eyeing it ourselves, we can. It would be the equivalent of laying down a blank playmat, you know, on the field. Yeah, Cam. What determines whether I'm going to go war magic or not is how much I use my gun.
Okay.
If I use my gun a lot, I'll go war magic specifically to boost my initiative to be a gunslinger. Ha! Map.
Oh yeah, with with a possible 30 initiative, it's like being the fastest gun in the West.
Yep. Is H the woman, Jaime?
Affirmative.
I would actually, if possible, I don't know how much movement I used to get here, but I would place myself more in between H and the farthest, basically the one most immediate in line to her. Of the two in the front, the one that's closest to her. But straightforward from where I'm at, like whatever. I can't really see it on the grid, but I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 squares if I have any movement left. I don't know if I do. My overall movement I have, so you know, is what page is that on? I don't know where movement is on the builder on this thing.
It should be near the top.
Yeah, but I'm not. Oh, speed. I'm looking for the word movement, and it's under speed because I'm a dumbass. My speed is 30.
Okay. I was going to say, from the position that I had you on the battle map, because I'm assuming that all of you kind of marched in this direction, that was 25 feet.
Okay. All right, then since it was 25 feet, I would just, you know what? Actually, even still, I would take the shot and then step another foot forward. Basically, my shot was a warning shot, and like I'm drawing the line in the sand, and then I'm stepping over and changing my entire body language to be from the guy who came running down the alley to the guy that's now standing and facing them. So I would move forward one more square so that I've done my full 30 feet. You don't need to send me another map yet. I can recognize that I need to be one forward. But yeah, either way, I pass turn. And the one that I shot is that far one closest to her.
Copy. I'm sorry. Apparently there's an NPC in the library called the Abyssal Chicken.
Okay, we'll get to that. That means we're probably gonna encounter it at somewhere in this game. If it's in that library.
Fair.
I'm super excited to meet the Abyssal Chicken, considering my
So am
Felix has
I.
a pet Celestial Chicken.
I'm
I might have
super
to
excited
take an
to meet the
Abyssal Chicken,
Abyssal Chicken.
as my maybe that should be one of my familiars, guys. So I can just be a chicken farmer.
There you go.
Gilwin.
Gilwin. Okay, let's move this out of the way. I am first going to activate a charge on the Ironheart Scimitar, because I already had it in my hand.
Go, go, Power Rangers.
Right. And that's my bonus action. As my full action, I am going to summon my new cantrip, which is Thornwhip.
Doesn't your thing get an attack when you use it as a bonus action? Like when you launch it?
Oh, yeah, it
attacks?
does. It does. Yep.
Yeah, because the idea is you're throwing it at a target and then it takes flight.
Okay. Then, what do I do? It is a...
I love how we're no longer offering devils a choice.
Nope.
Of
no
surrendering. My character never had the chance to do that. He wasn't part of that part of the adventure, but I attack, so everybody else is gonna. I'm waiting for Felix to round the corner to a pile, or Thick to round the corner to a pile of dead bodies and go, "Hey, do you guys want us to like let you go? Because if you do, we will. You just got to be good." But they're just gonna be like a pile of goop.
Aha. And I'm going to attack. Well, the sword is going to attack the other one in front, so number 2.
Oh, are they numbered? Oh, I can't tell what the numbers are.
They are. The one that you attacked was number 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it just pops up.
1, 2, and the one in the
screen.
back is 3. I will try to remember that. If they move on the map, obviously it'll confuse it a little bit, but that helps.
So I'm going to assume that or how far can you throw that sword?
Up to 30 feet.
So in order for you to throw it at that guy, you would have to move first.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no big deal. I would have moved anyway. I see it now.
But you got the map. Use it. Dang.
My bad.
Way to go, Cam. You're the only one of us that's got the map. You have to make the best of it, brother. For the rest.
I know. I had my character sheet up and I didn't realize I didn't have line of sight.
Fail.
Okay, and it was a 23.
That's a hit.
So it does...
3 bearded devils. Fighting one of these earlier in the campaign was stressful. Fighting 2 was almost stressful until one of them decided to rabbit. I'm not excited to fight 3 of these. Do as much damage as possible.
Let's see. It says 4 because it was partially resisted, but this is from a magical sword, isn't it?
Yep. So that means his attack is not listed as magical yet.
I don't know. Well,
Yeah, it shouldn't have been resisted if it's magical. Well, that depends. I don't know if bearded devils saying their thing resist. Some devils will say like resistance to non-magical that isn't silvered, and other addendums and shit like that. So I don't know if this has a special one. But yes, for purposes of resistance, yes, his sword is a magic weapon.
Okay.
I really kind of hope these devils are just like shocked that we just like rounded the corner and attacked them instead of fleeing from them.
and okay, so that would have been my bonus action, and for my full action, I am summoning Thorn Whip.
Wait, for your full action, you did Thorn Whip.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah. But it's just you summon it with the first action.
No. Thorn Whip is an attack.
Is an attack?
It is an attack. Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was okay.
It's an attack.
I'm
And
gonna
if
wait.
it hits, it also will drag the creature towards you.
Never mind about casting Thorn Whip then. Okay, I thought it was like the shillelagh where it was like you summon a weapon.
No, Thorn
Okay.
Whip. So my character also has Thorn Whip, but his is a spiked chain. But it's the exact
Okay.
same spell, and it's just a whip that launches out and attacks the target and lashes them towards you. Yours, you would
Okay.
basically summon out of the ground and then yank it towards you.
Gotcha. Okay, so instead of that, then I want to cast Spike Growth. I've been dying to try this combo.
Dude, they are clustered in a group. Like,
I know.
if you can stick them in one place.
Yep.
Dude, just drop your earthquake on them.
I'm waiting for the earthquake because that's a level 3.
No,
spell.
man,
I wanna save
there's
it.
3 of them right there, bro. Just nail them. When it comes around to my turn, oh man, I could make use of the fact that you nailed them, and it will be beautiful. It's your choice.
20-foot
Okay,
cube.
do what you want. I'm just fucking with you.
No, I know. I've just been wanting to try out this one, just
Do it.
since I thought of it. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Spike Growth. It's level 2, and the 20-foot radius within range, 150 feet. And what is it? Just on a point within range. So the point that I'm going to cast within range is underneath the feet of Bearded Devil 3.
So point literally means point on the grid, as in between squares, so that they can drop in a circle or square or whatever their field is based upon that.
Okay.
So you would be able to put it up beneath the feet of all 3 if you placed it at the center of the triangle. Basically. Whichever
The
is
grids are
close.
kind of hard to see on this map.
It is.
It is. I'm
But
sorry.
it's the map we've got.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just saying the vicinity of the feet of Bearded Devil number 3, because it's a 20-foot square. It's a 20-foot radius.
Out of game. I just had a really good idea. Before next session, somebody just needs to go into like paint and draw a grid. Something simple. It doesn't even have to be big. Just a black grid on white. It suddenly becomes like a overhead projector grid, basically. And then all you have to do, Jaime, is import that as an image into Fantasy Grounds. Basically, just place it into into the map folder in the Fantasy Grounds paper stuff. Then you would be able to open it as a grid, which, yes, is going to be a pain in the ass as we've seen this one isn't the one that you're currently using wasn't aligned or whatever. There's a way to use Fantasy Grounds to create the alignment. I don't know how to do that. That's something you would have to explore. But we would still have a blank just grid in the game then. But that was a side note. Everybody went silent.
Because
No,
we were
I-
listening.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I was done. I just thought it would be a good idea for somebody to, if we created that, because then we'd have it, you know. And that's
Yeah.
how you add a map to the game. Is you literally it's like when you add an add-on to a game or whatever. You just find the folder that the maps are in and put the image in there. So really, we just need to create a 1x1 grid.
Fair enough.
That's all.
I can, or just a simple 1x1 grid, I could probably just screenshot an image of Roll20 or something like that.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then, like I said, somehow in Fantasy Grounds, there is a way to create the snap to grid thing, and you can align it, but I'm not sure personally how to do that. That's something that we'd have to explore. But otherwise, we'd at least still have a blank grid that we could use for situations like this.
Okay.
But I don't know whose turn it is. He's spike growth. What do you need to do for spike growth for your spell?
It just says the ground in a 20-foot radius centered on a point within range twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration, 10 minutes. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the time the spell is cast must make a wisdom check against your spell save DC to recognize the terrain.
So since it's a 20-foot thing, what that means is it's a 4x4 square.
Yeah.
I would literally place them at the back of it, not the center. I wouldn't center it on them. I would place them at the back of it because then they have to walk through it.
Well, I just don't want to cast it on
while
us,
they're
dude.
walking through it, they'll take 2d4 damage every time they walk through it. Dude, as long as you place it right, we can walk through the top of the top corner, like where my character is standing. We can walk through that angle to avoid it. But they have to walk through it just to get there. With a 20-foot square.
Okay. So if I did, yeah, I could basically do the two squares away from me, 1 square down to the wall, and then 4 squares over, and then 4 squares up.
So that basically they don't have a choice but to go through it or to go somehow around it. But
or what I would do is I'd line it up.
In it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do from the corner of the wall over into the intersection, and then that way it's they only have a 1 square spot to go
if they want to get out of it.
Yeah, so that's what I'll do. Can I draw that?
Yeah, you've got crowd control spells now, man. You can control the battlefield because, you know, in the idea that the monsters know what they're doing, they're obviously going to try to avoid going around it. They may have ranged spells, but they see that we have ranged attacks too. So your action just determined the shape of the battlefield. If they want melee, they have to take damage to get to us or find a way around their issue.
Right.
But that's a 20-foot radius, not a 20-foot diameter. That's a huge area.
That's, like I said, that's a frickin' Wait, 20-foot radius?
Oh, wait, 20 foot. Yeah.
That's a 40-foot diameter. Holy shit. That spell's much bigger than I thought it was. Are you sure it says 20-foot radius? No. I think radius... Radius is reading right. Radius means the whole thing. We're about to blow it out of proportions. Radius means the whole size of the box in D&D vernacular lexicon. So yeah, it's a 20-foot bubble.
Are you sure? Because radius means from the middle to the edge. Normally.
I know it means from the middle to the edge, but radius in this case means the radius of the area of effect, aka the size of the area of effect. It's literally all it means in D&D vernacular. When you look in the combat section of the game, of the book where it explains combat, it says that if something says it's this radius, and then it has a picture of a grid that shows where it sits.
Okay.
And so it literally just translates straight across. It does not try to complicate it with radius is half of the size you're wanting. No.
Okay.
We are about to make things way more powerful than they should be. Unless Jaime wants to. He was the one that pointed it out.
Yeah.
But arguing in the defense of rules as written versus rules as interpreted, rules as written is it's the complete size. Rules as interpreted, you guys are right. So it's up to you guys how you want to play.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that it's 20 foot, not 40 foot.
Right.
A little smaller tightens up the difficulty of the game. 40 seems huge.
That
Hell,
does seem
20
huge.
foot's huge because that's a 4 foot by 4 or a 4 square by 4 square box. All right, he cast this thing. Did you drop it on the map? Since I can't see it.
I did,
sphere
but I have it at the super large area. I still need to adjust it.
Gotcha.
Okay, I think I see. I see the markings that that Cam was wanting to make.
Basically from here over. Yeah.
Like there?
Yeah.
Can I change the color of that drawing?
Boy, you can, but I don't know how.
It actually looks like it
assume you're
matches the
talking-
color of my dice.
You might be right. Yeah, that would make sense since players can set their own dice colors and they can draw their spheres and stuff. So that would, because he could draw his AoE himself and it would be the
There it goes.
color of his dice.
Nice.
That makes total sense, actually. That explains why when Wes and I draw them on the map, they looked different.
Yep.
Okay.
How do they react to all of to this coming around the corner and getting splatted in the face and spike growth?
Annoyed, agitated.
But not surprised.
Nope.
Actually, with my, I'm asking. I want to say, can I ask that with my passive insight of 15? Do
Yeah.
they seem surprised?
Yeah, they do not.
That says to me there is a resistance in this city. They're not surprised to see somebody showing up and fighting back with this kind of firepower. Which also tells me it's very likely that older Ravengard is still alive, because the whole point of his NPC character is he's this like super general guy. So the idea that a resistance has succeeded in the absence of Father Krieg is that not only is Ravengard here, but he's probably taking control somewhere. I can gain all of that from their lack of surprise. Continue.
Okay, was that all of your turn, Cam?
Yeah, that's all my turn. I will. Yeah.
Okay, then it is Fix's turn.
How you doing, Girk?
Is he still on mute?
It doesn't appear to be so.
Which means he might not be there. We can do what we did last combat and this happened. He sets to the side, preparing his weapons or something. Holds his action.
Sounds good to me.
Until his return.
All right. I will make a tally mark. He's got one held action. I'm waiting for him to show up like towards the end of the fight and have like 3 actions and just use them all at once. And that's why he's in charge. Actually, I'm totally okay with him stockpiling actions when he gets sick. I don't know about you guys, but I would be completely
I'm fine with it.
him just showing up and suddenly he's got a bunch of actions. They would almost feel like legendary actions. And since his character is supposed to be a god, I feel like that could be the start of the flavor for his quote-unquote godhood.
I can dig it.
How do you feel
I am
about
totally
that,
fine
Jaime?
with
It works.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well, he's holding his. We've got a tally mark. He's got 1 action. Stockpiled. Go ahead. We at like Thurkir or the Devils? I assume Thurkir is with us. I can't see. Is he on the map? I didn't even.
He is on the map.
that.
Okay.
I actually
Lulu
forgot to roll
is
Thurkir's
next
I actually forgot to roll Thurkir's what's it called?
Initiative. Wow. Yeah, I really like the idea that Thurkir is the only one that knows my true identity, Jaime. It would make sense because he's one of my downtime trainers. So. Plus the idea that it's a NPC that's it's a specific NPC controlled by you. It's your character. Guarantees that like the interconnection of the story, so to speak.
Fair enough. So next is actually Lulu's turn.
Oh my god, I forgot about. Oh no. Literally, my character suddenly looks completely shocked that Lulu is here, and my entire mentality is that fucking thing needs to be stuffed in a bag, shoved in a cloak closet, and locked in so that we can protect it. That adorable little shit needs to be protected. It does not belong on a battlefield. What the fuck was the angel doing with it out here in the first place? So I'm just like, oh god. What's Lulu do? I'm waiting for her to be a little badass.
Right.
I am looking at things real quick.
While you're looking at that, Jaime, so you know, my homunculus servant technically has its own initiative and exists on the initiative tracker as well. His initiative is just simply the exact same number as mine, and he goes at the end of the turn, or the end of my turn. They do not roll initiatives the way familiars do.
Okay.
But I think they tell me that it's I feel like the reason they tell you that it still has its own initiative is because I think a player and his homunculus servant can probably be like knocked out of sync. But they never really like specify that. They just say that it has the same initiative score as whatever I roll, and that it occurs after my turn. But I don't see the point of assigning it a score unless those scores can somehow get out of sync. So I don't know. It's not something we have to decide right now. I just feel like it's something that will be fun to discover in gameplay, what we decide to do about that if it occurs.
Okay. So she apparently has a fly speed of 120.
Shit the bed. She flies faster than Gurk. Way faster than Gurk. She flies twice the speed of dragons.
Yes.
Twice the speed of dragons. Because they have a fly speed of 60. Now, that said, they have a legendary action that can allow them to use movements in between turns. So technically, they can move a lot faster than that, but meh.
She goes, zoop.
I turned to stop her from entering the battle, and she's already passed me somehow, I'm sure.
Actually, yes.
Yeah. I am speed.
She is on the opposite side of the box of spikes.
Oh, sure, because she could just fly over it.
Yeah.
Yep. Takes a deep breath and trumpets.
I was about to say, I'm already preparing to cover my ears. Balls.
Yeah.
Except hers is, or isn't a trumpet of sound. Motes of light fly out in a 30-foot cone at the devils.
Lulu makes me even more want the familiar that I really want. So Lulu right now is making me think not of the Care Bears, but the Care Bear cousins. And the familiar I really want would be a familiar equivalent of Swift-Heart Rabbit. But there is an elephant in the Care Bear cousins that can like shoot out a beam from its nose when it does its Care Bear cousin call.
All of these dice.
Oh my god, what do you mean all of these dice? How many dice just got dropped?
Well, they had
One,
to
two,
roll.
three,
They had to
four,
roll
five.
Constitution saving throws. Only one of them passed, or only 2 of them passed. The other ones.
And was it one of those half damage if you pass, otherwise full damage and something happens?
Oh, it is half damage if they pass. The other one took full damage and now has disadvantage on saving throws.
Which one has
Oh, wait.
disadvantage on saving throws?
I
I
actually
think the
read that
one that
wrong.
you already-
It says evil creatures have disadvantage on this saving throw.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm not in range of it, am I?
No.
Okay, I'm an evil creature, so I had to ask.
So that one still succeeded. And that one failed.
So 2 have now failed.
So 2 of them failed. And the other one still takes half damage.
Bro, I don't know if you know this, Cam, but Gilwin's a Digimon trainer. First came out my
No shit.
character, then came out Lulu.
Damn it. That's why I'm surrounded by all these little people. You're all Digimon.
My character, when she nails them with that light, guys. So I've said my character has a flaw about his sense of humor, but there's actually a description that when he does laugh, it comes out super confusing and odd and bothers everybody. So when I first rounded the corner, the devils were laughing, but then they got blasted in the face, stuck with thorns, and then blasted with a light trumpet that 2 of them failed. I'm pretty sure they're not laughing. And if they are, like, I'm super surprised. But my character is now laughing, and it comes out super like, imagine if Lurch from the Addams Family laughed like the Joker. So that super cackly clown laugh, but it's like bass. Occasionally in there's like a snicker sound or like a hissing sort of sound, but otherwise it's a bass cackle. because to me, everything that just happened was funny. I was like, oh no, innocent elephant. Boom. Never mind. I don't know how much damage they took, but I hope it was enough to make it worth that reaction.
Oh, one of them's hurting.
One of them, yeah, one of them's at heavy.
So how's one doing? The one that I have marked.
That is the one that is heavy.
Okay, I just needed to know that.
So it is Thurkir's turn.
So we got we beat initiative over the devils altogether.
Yeah, the devils rolled
Holy-
a 1.
Oh, oh. Well, we just made a very splashy entrance into Avernus, guys.
2, 3,
You should,
4, 5.
that's yeah. It's kind of like when you go to prison, you beat the fuck out of the first person that talks to you just to establish your dominance. We just did that. These guys were just trying to sell us scarves.
Yeah. Yeah, for all we knew, they weren't actually bad guys. We saw a woman run and said, "Protect her." I think that might have actually technically been the racist decision. We just assumed that they were the bad guys just because of how they looked. My character's racist. I accept it, but I want you guys to know that was a racist decision.
Thurkir runs up to the corner of the box and casts Hunter's Mark on one of the devils.
How does his Hunter's Mark look? Out of game cam, Hunter's Mark is the ranger version of the Hex spell.
Yeah.
Same amount of damage, slightly adjusted as to who it can target and what it affects, but
Right.
It looks like a necklace of bone teeth.
appears around his target.
Yes.
Diggy. Timer for.
Man, if Goliath was here, he would be like, fuck yeah, because the whole necklace of teeth thing, and Boston did the necklace of teeth thing, so I'm sort of loving
Diggy.
that Thurkir has a necklace of teeth
Timer
thing.
for.
Out of game. Mortals, humans who hunt creatures like alligators and stuff, we put
Diggy.
alligator teeth and
timer.
shark teeth on necklaces.
Diggy.
Okay, this guy is a lizard
Diggy.
folk. I'm cultural curiosity, Jaime. Lizard folk in your world.
Fucking-
Your lizard folk. What kind of teeth are they? I was originally envisioning like fangs, like the Black Panther necklaces, but I'm
Diggy.
curious if you had a different
Timer.
image.
Sorry, one moment. You might hear that on the recording, but our Echo Dot thing is having a fit and wasn't listening to what Oreo was saying.
I know how that goes.
Anyway, I was actually originally envisioning like just or teeth of things that he would
Ziggy.
hunt. So
That's what I'm saying. What kind of creatures would he hunt? I know he would obviously hunt like swamp creatures because that's where lizard folk are from. But are there like are there square teeth on there like humanoid teeth?
sure.
I was curious.
Neat.
My book of 500 NPCs has a lizard folk that the way they describe it is he is one of the most refined gentlemen you'll ever meet. And but when you read his description, he's still a lizard folk. So I was curious. Like I love the idea that lizard folk are this term is kind of racist, and again, my character's racist, so it works, but the noble savage, so to speak. I love the idea that the lizard folk get the chance to be that, and that Thurkir gets the chance to be that. So I'm just curious, culturally speaking, out of game, if we were writing our own wiki of lore, world building, I was just curious what was normal for a normal lizard folk hunter like him. So,
in fact, actually, everyone here might be able to recognize it. One of the fangs from his mark looks like an aboleth fang.
yeah, fuck yeah. That's super cool. Okay. Does Thurkir have an inspiration point? If not, I'm gonna give him mine. I have every reason to believe he doesn't have one because he's an NPC.
I think you actually gave him an inspiration point before, because he does have one.
Yeah, you've given him like 3 or 4, dude. You love
my
Thurkir.
God.
Like,
Dude, okay, whatever. Shut up. Felix has a crush on you, so bite me. If it helps, he was originally going to flirt with Thunder, but Thunder left.
Aww. Unrequited love.
Kind of. Lone Path is with Thunder, and Lone Path is a version of Felix that split when he died.
Yeah.
So technically, Lone Path could still make a pass at Thunder.
Fair.
Thunder might have actually had a thing for Boston.
I think that was what made the quote-unquote breakup so hard. We never got to have a chance to have that first date, man.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Way back.
I'm going to rebound to Gilwyn. It's all good.
Bearded Devil turn.
Numero uno.
1, 2, or 3.
They're going to go in order, so number 1.
Okay.
Let's see. So only people that weren't here when that circle was made have to make that perception roll, right?
No.
Yes. If they can't see the ground that I cast it on.
Oh, yeah. So we all could see that intersection, so we would have seen the ground you cast.
Yeah. Yeah, we can all see it. It's not a secret.
Okay, and they have a movement speed of 30 feet.
Whenever a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 damage for every 5 feet it travels within the area.
But
That's
they're-
a fuck ton of damage.
So they're not actually starting in the area. Did you want them to be in the area?
No. I wanted the area to be between us.
Oh
that
man, I
there's
would have put them.
more-
I would have at least put them in the edge area as close as you could, and then as close to blocking the area as you could. But hit them with it for sure.
Well, I wouldn't have. If I would have done that, I wouldn't have been able. I mean, I could, but this was more of like making a bottleneck. And remember,
but
I have a
if
combo that I'm
they-
about to start doing.
Yeah, but if they don't enter it, then it won't matter. Whereas
They're going to
if
enter it.
unless they have ranged attacks,
That's true. Yeah.
and then they'll stay back there. Which is why you
Okay.
always like. So I don't know if you're, since I can't see the map that you've put the thing on. I don't know if it's a circle or a square that you're using.
It's a square.
For your AOE. It's a square. Okay. Yeah. Then I would at least put 1 and 2 within it. Maybe you don't have to put 3 within it, but at least 1 and 2 within it. Honestly, I would rotate the square 45 degrees and put all 3 of them in it in a triangle. Because then the widest point at the angle would also block the entire intersection, like their entrance to the intersection. So they have to pass through at least 1 square, plus the squares they start in to get through it.
Yeah.
But that's me. However you want to place it, though. If you want to bottleneck them, I don't remember what your combo is, so whatever you believe works.
I'm gonna leave it the way it is just because it's already passed, and I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna let it stand. I'm gonna stand by my decision.
Word. All right. Guy 1.
All right. They are going to let me find. Where did I put Lulu's character sheet?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere in the back of the book.
Oh, I guess that's true.
200 and something. It was because that was the page you sent me to for the picture for her. 237 or 267, maybe. Should have wrote that one down.
Yep, I found it. 237.
Boom. I promise I'm not looking at her character sheet. Actually, I don't even know where my book is. Icewind, Strict. There it is. It's under my strict savings. I'm so excited for Sue to decide what story we're going to play in tonight, guys. She's got a friend coming over tomorrow that's going to play in the campaign too.
Nice.
So it's going to be me and 2 girls, Sue and her best friend.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Dear Penthouse. What?
Oh, bro, you have no idea. I am never. What? Let's just see what campaign they decide to play in first. If they go to hell, if they choose Descent into Avernus, they might have to face some unique Japanese anime stylized hell enemies.
Right,
I mean,
so, Bearded Devil 1 takes all of his movement, but he makes it around the square and attacks Lulu. He reaches up with his glaive and tries to bring it down on top of... Actually, it has a reach of 10 feet. But he doesn't go. He doesn't have to go right all the way up to her. Oh wait, I rolled for the wrong thing. And
Bro's gonna regret that.
misses.
Misses.
Holy crap. Apparently she has an 18 armor.
Whoa.
He swings with his glaive, and I go, "You mother!" Yeah. Rowan is quickly becoming a fan of this little creature, and it's, if I'm Deadpool, it's my unicorn.
What?
What? No,
What?
but I'm gonna like protect it. It's my little baby. I'm not like my Deadpool unicorn. but
There's
it's
a
my
there's a
little baby.
deeper thing with the unicorn in Deadpool.
Oh, I know. I know what I said.
Double entendre intended.
Lulu the Holophant is probably thousands of years old. She's a sentient being, which means she is a consensual sentient being.
Wow.
Bearded Devil 2 moves up and I believe has just enough reach to reach with his glaive.
Yeah, that looks like 10 feet.
Also at Lulu?
Also at Lulu.
You mother...
That is also a miss.
You
I dozed off for a second. Are we gaming or are we screwing around?
We're gaming.
Okay. I passed
We
out,
knew
but-
you dozed off. You have a turn you can use. When the turns wrap up, we saved for you.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
So if you want to continue playing,
No, I very much do. I'm like mad at myself for dozing off.
No, dude, bro, it's fine. It actually helped us decide a god thing for you, but we'll let you know when it's your turn, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and Bearded Devil 3 actually starts to go around the back. So he's not going to attack Lulu, but he looks like he might be just gunning for the human.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Uh,
My hands are now on
wait,
my
Carl.
cheeks doing the Deadpool shock face. Oh.
Just wait, Carl. Just wait, Carl.
And now it is Fick's turn.
Is this Fick's bottom of the initiative turn?
Affirmative.
Okay.
Fick would actually normally go before Lulu.
Okay.
Well, this is his saved turn for when he came back.
That's why I
We
was
agreed
saying,
to.
so it'll occur here because it's basically treated like a triggered reaction. And then
Yeah.
next turn, he'll pop back into his normal initiative. So he'll have a turn here in a second. Fick, now that it's your turn, we decided out of game to make a concession that we think works for all of us. Sometimes you're sick or unavailable, like what just happened. We are going to like save up your turns that you may miss when you run to the bathroom or whatever, so that when you come back, you can just like take 2 or 3 turns in a row if you've got to.
Holy shit!
And
All right.
we feel like from a flavor perspective, your character's supposed to be a god anyways, so that would sort of like simulate your character having legendary actions. So your character's just like not there for a minute, and all of a sudden when he is, blap blap blap.
Yeet.
So
It would probably behoove everyone to send an updated map.
yeah, I'm gonna be. Oh yeah, Gark technically needs to see a map too. So an updated
Well,
map
Yeah.
does
if
need to
you
happen.
actually, give me a second. Like, I'm gonna try and boot up my laptop and see if I can try and get Fantasy Grounds working on it.
Woohoo!
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he's at the bottom of the initiative, we can technically,
Leave him there.
quote unquote, call it the top of initiative, and we can take a bio or something while he's getting booted up.
Yeah,
Okay.
take a bio.
Yeah, I need a drink anyway, so
Yep, mine's gone, so I'll be RB.
I'm gonna take y'all with me. But
Did anyone not go to a bio?
I have returned.
I never left.
You never do.
I'm always right.
Are you here, Cam?
I don't
No.
think so.
Are you back, Jaime? No. Did you get your
So
thing booted?
I was able to pull up Fantasy Grounds, but it is so hard for me to read it right now. So it's going to be
Wow.
fun.
Well, if he can share that map with you, you'll be able to at least kind of visualize because you can zoom in on it, you know. Hopefully you'll be able to see enough to kind of visualize anyways.
Maybe I'm able to zoom in. I haven't figured out how to do that on the laptop.
Fair enough.
I'm back.
Yay. Aha. They walked around your spike growth, huh?
Yep.
And you were okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really confused what your plan is. I don't remember.
Cam,
I'm keeping it. Yeah.
I'm planning on spending a decent amount of money on you for your birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I found something for you that's hovering right around $100. It's just fucking perfect.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sure. Make it harder on the rest of us. Jaime, you'll have to let us know when you're back, buddy. I throw that out there in case he's forgotten to push his mic button at some point.
I just got back.
Boom.
Nice.
Also because I'm psychic. All right, Girk is in Fantasy Grounds. Can you share the map with him?
So,
Woo!
I think that did it.
Hey, how far do you have to?
Girk, did you get a map pop up?
Yeah, but now I got to figure out how to be able to access anything else on Fantasy Grounds.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
No,
Well,
like
if
I
you-
don't. On the laptop, I don't know how to make things smaller, how to move things without having the mouse.
Ah. Well, to be fair, I mean, Jaime could still run your character if you want, and you could just use it for the map itself
Visual
if you can
content.
find a way to navigate the map.
I can't do anything with Fantasy Grounds now. The map is too big for the screen. I can't move it or access any of the.
Oh, shit. Okay, you might have to start
Yeah.
using Discord screenshots the way I am right now.
Like I can read those on my phone.
Do you have
Hey
Discord
guys,
on
give
the
me one
laptop?
second. I'll be right back.
No, I didn't put Discord on a laptop because everyone said that Discord drains the
Okay.
laptop super bad.
I think they went to the backyard.
Oh,
He wants to smoke a ball. Hey guys, I'll be right back.
I mean, I use
Sorry.
Discord on my laptop, but when it was working, but
No, I use Discord on my phone. No, if I had my desktop, that would be a different story. But Cam's brother still has that, and apparently he can't fix it.
well, shit, that sucks.
Yeah, I bought a laptop back in March last year.
Yeah.
And then a few months, while I was in the hospital dying, the network availability just stopped working. Like when you go to the menu, the settings menu, network functionality just isn't even an option anymore.
Weird.
Yeah, so I can't
That's
access
really
the
weird.
internet like that. And Cam's brothers are supposed to be professional computer servicers, and they can't figure out what's going on. So it's a waste of buying a computer.
I mean, I know that feeling. I just bought my laptop, same kind of time period, and it was burnt out within the year because of, well, actually, it just stopped booting up. It just stopped booting Windows for some reason, randomly, without any
Well,
sign of error.
I never
Hey
used
guys, I can
it
hear you,
for-
and just carry on without me until my turn. I'll be back before then.
Okay, well, Fick, so you're having trouble seeing. I mean, we can describe it to you. You're 20 feet from your target. In between you and your target, or I'm sorry, that's 20, 5, 10, 15. I can't count those squares on this map. It's hard.
It is. It's actually about 60 feet. I've been using the grid on the grass to help me count.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is about 60 feet. You're about 60 feet from your target, but in front of the 3 targets is a 20 by 20 square filled with spiked thorn growth. So you don't want to go into that because you'll take damage.
Okay.
You have above that, like you can go around that if you wanted to move near them, near your targets. And you have ally squares. Oh wait, you're on Gilwyn's back, aren't you?
Yeah.
He is on Gilwyn's back.
I completely forgot about that. That changes things slightly.
Yeah, your location. You basically would have a straight line to a couple of targets. In front of you is Thurkir and Lulu, and then, 10 feet away from Lulu is a bearded devil, and then there's another bearded devil right behind him.
Okay. First things first, I'm gonna roll stealth to hide on his back.
I don't think that's actually an option. The closest you can get is partial cover, which you already have by being on his back.
So I can't use it to get advantage.
Not really, no. Now you could hop off of his back, and I don't know about the rocks in the center. Oh wait, but they're in the center. They would damage you if you got near them because of the growth. Yeah, this is kind of a big open intersection. There's not really anywhere to stealth.
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot him with a crossbow.
Okay. Did you, or I see that you're still logged in. Do you want me to roll it, or did you want to try and do it?
I'm gonna try and do it.
Okay.
But it's just gonna be you do it because oh fuck, I don't know what just happened. My character sheet just closed on me. Oh, you go ahead and roll it. Go ahead and roll it for me.
Okay.
It's a +7 to hit. I should be all right.
Are you going to shoot out the one that's directly in front of you, or?
Yes.
You crit.
Oh,
Awesome.
Well, I was about to say that guy technically has partial cover, but that's okay. Never mind.
Well, shitty damage.
oh.
Unfortunately. It isn't, or, and that's not magical, is it?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do during your turn?
Negative.
Okay. Oh, wait. And that makes it, Rowan's turn.
It does. It does. Let me look at what I have
It do
as
indeed.
options. What's my range on that? Spell is it? 30 feet, 10 feet closer. Oops. No. Open that back. Look at the map. If I shift down through Thurkir's Square and then move to the Thurkir Square just south so that I'm standing like next to this spike tangle, how many squares am I from enemy one?
I believe that would technically be 5.
Yeah.
From 5 squares, you mean? Okay.
Yes.
5 times
5
5
squares.
is 25. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shift right there, move right there. And then, dismiss. I'll go to my spells. Um, 16 versus his armor class.
Hit.
He takes.
Did you finally catch on, Carl?
He takes 8 damage plus a d4 plus 3. I did. Fucking dice pop up. Plus a d4 plus 3. So he takes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He takes 14 points of damage, Jaime, and then he moves 10 feet into the thorns.
Takes another
So you're-
40
Because I just nailed him with Thorn Whip.
Okay, so you pulled it.
So I just drug him into the thorns.
And
Dragged.
for every 5 feet that they move into the thorns, how much damage is that?
They take 2d4 damage.
2d4.
So he just took a bonus 4d4 damage.
And how much was the damage initially?
14.
14.
Does anybody remember what I
14.
said? I
14
can
or
check the log.
14.
I can check the log as soon as I figure out where the button is for it. Game log. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Well, I guess that.
And you said that was 2d4 per square? And you said that was 2d4 per square?
Yep, so 4d4
Yeah.
total. And all the damage is magical damage.
So that's an extra 13 damage.
Well, I guess, yeah, because if it's a spell, it's magic damage automatic, right?
Affirmative.
Yeah. No. Some spells actually say, like, they light things on fire or whatever. That fire becomes natural fire and then is no longer magic fire.
Gotcha.
So your spike growth is kind of a middle ground. That's up to GM interpretation as to if the spike growth is magical damage or not. But I assume it is.
Right.
I also assumed it was. So that yeah, that's 63 damage. It's
Total
dead.
from that one attack?
No.
Just total.
Yes, just total.
Okay.
And it
So-
falls unconscious in the spikes.
Can I, since I got the kill shot, can I describe how that looked?
Sure.
Okay, so past to my turn. This whole time, I've been trying to figure out what the fuck the druid's up to. I am so mad he let them walk around the thing. But the druid is just like staring at the battlefield. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. And my character's like, what the fuck? And then with my 15 insight, I notice from his features he's got a plan. What kind of plan could a druid have? With my knowledge of Arcana, I think Thorn Whip. Wait a minute, I could do something like that. I hold up my hand and spin around. Jaime, there's a picture you can pull up from beyond. But I pull out my wand. On my character sheet and my inventory, widget wand, I have actually attached a picture to widget wand in Beyond. So you should be able to view that if you can view my character sheet. Which means you can share it in Discord. The sphere on the end of my wand is the normal top. I spin it around so that the bottom of the wand is facing towards my enemy. And a chain, just a metal, like, I mean, we're in hell, so theme it. It looks like a Hellraiser type chain just shoots out of the end of this thing, barbs and hooks on it. It latches into the bearded devil's chest. And I said, you didn't answer my question. I said, sup. And I just yank him with the chain. And after 10 feet, the chain comes from his chest and reels. He falls forward into the spike growth, impaling himself on it. I'm still looking at the. I would like to use an action surge,
Okay.
which nets me a second action.
Okay.
Really debating on thorn whipping. But instead, I'm going to spend my one inspiration point that I just can't give away to roll intimidate. Wait a minute. Given what I just did, can I intimidate with advantage on my action surge without spending my inspiration?
You just hurt that guy. Like,
No.
No. So all right, then I will spend my inspiration to roll intimidate with advantage. Is that okay, Jaime?
Yep.
For a 20, not natural, just a 20.
I rolled
And
20.
all I say out loud is one chance. And I spin the handle around in my hand, and it's just I'm holding it out in front of me like, all right, I've given you one chance. So, that's my intimidate at them. They have one chance to walk the fuck away or end up like their friend, but faster.
Gillen.
No, fuck that chance.
Do they react to me saying one chance?
No, not really.
Okay. I was curious. We didn't
Okay,
have
cool.
somebody here to offer them the good guys offer you one chance moment, so I thought I would use my action surge to do it then. Nobody wants to take part in it? Cool. Tear them apart.
Gilwin doesn't like devils. And neither does the Ironheart Scimitar, which is... Actually, no, I'm going to do this first. I am going to move over here by Rowan. And I'm also going to cast Thorn Whip.
You
I-
you say one chance. Vic looks at you and says, "We're in hell. They've had their chances."
Thank you. And I am going
My low
to...
cackle returns.
I'm going
We're
to
not.
attack Bearded Devil 3 with Thorn Whip to get him closer to the fray. Ah, damn.
That is a
A
miss.
9. I'm sure that doesn't hit.
That is a miss.
Can I re-roll it with
You do not
inspiration?
have a Harrison Ford lip scar.
I think you could.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we decided you can spend an inspiration for a reroll. But you have to take whatever you roll on the second roll when you do it that way. That's how we've been doing
I'll
it.
do it. I mean, it can't be much worse than a 2, but I could probably be eating those words right about now. So, here we go. Nat 20.
That's a hit.
So you're gonna do double damage plus
So,
the 44.
do I have to... If I just roll it, is it going to work?
It should.
It should auto crit the
Okay.
damage, yeah.
Oh, it's not going to... It's not going to do the right amount of dice either. Because at level 5, I should do 2d6 of damage.
Oh yeah, because it has an upgraded. Shit, I also did an extra damage that I missed, but you're
Oops.
absolutely right. No, Fantasy Grounds does not include that bonus dice from that. So it might include the crit, but you're gonna have to modify everything else. So you might have to roll more than once to get all your dice added together. But that's why you have all the individual dice at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Here, let me just see what it does. That one. Oh, it did the crit.
But it didn't add the extra dice for your level.
Right.
Because
No.
if it didn't, then it didn't do the crit. It critted based on a below level 5.
A level
character.
1. Yeah.
So
that would
roll
just be my
2
normal
more
roll.
of that dice. Yeah, well, no, it would be 2 more because you do 2 dice and then you crit for 4.
Yeah, so that would be the normal roll, and then this would be the critical roll. Oops.
Is it going to auto add that extra one for you if you roll it that way? I don't think so. Unless
No.
you pump the level. Thus the point of you know what the dice is, just roll 2 more of that dice, add it to it.
Right. Oops. Well, here, I did it earlier because I just clicked on the damage button. I did a 4 and a 2.
Okay. That would be a total of 14 damage. And then that's
I didn't.
and then
I
that's
didn't roll the d4. I guess you did.
No, I didn't roll them before. Or you didn't roll them before. I rolled them before. Would you like to start rolling for that?
No, that's fine. I just didn't see you do it.
That's because I was throwing
Yeah,
him
he
into my tower. Mwahaha.
Ah. Ha ha ha.
Solid combo, Cam.
Okay.
Solid combo.
And then as bonus action, Ironheart Scimitar attacks. The same one.
Oh, and it's flying. So it doesn't have to worry about the terrain.
Yep.
Jesus. That's brutal. Why didn't you use that on Wes when we fought, bro?
I didn't have this combo yet. Does a 21 hit?
It does.
That question. Oh my god, you're a real gamer now. Does a 21 hit?
11.
Okay. It looks like it only did 5 damage to it for some reason. I'll adjust it.
Oh. Oh, because it's registering as normal damage instead of magical damage.
Yeah, I
Still
thought that
hasn't
I
been adjusted
added
to register as magic.
thought that I added the magic property to it, but I guess it doesn't take.
It might
No,
not
I'm
take
doing this.
until close
I'm doing
and
this from the
reload.
one in my. Yeah, I'm doing this from the one in my weapons under my character sheet. I can close my sheet and see if that doesn't help. But I'm not going to re-roll the damage.
Okay.
Well, if it's
And
got
that's my
resistance,
turn.
all it is that he doubles the damage that it says it did. Cam.
Well, it shows how much damage he would have done and then how much is resisted. Since it was
Ah.
odd, it got rounded, or the amount that he didn't take
Yeah.
got rounded up.
Ah, gotcha. Oh well, that shouldn't happen anyways. It's supposed to always round down, I thought, but oh well. We'll discover that later. That's something we can look into later. Continue.
That's my turn.
Who's next?
Thick.
Pick.
Magic missile.
Wait, you have magic missile?
I believe so.
I've got magic missile. No, I've got Eldritch Blast.
I don't know what spells you have without looking at your character sheet. So
I'm trying to find that.
Yes, he does.
that's 3 darts. They do a D4 plus 1. No attack roll, just boom, a D4 plus 1 for each dart. Are you sending them all at the same target?
Yes, I am.
So that's 3D4 plus 3.
Okay, so you've got target 2, which is outside of the spikes, and target 3, which looks very haggard, in the spikes.
Do you want to do them 1 dart at a time to 3, or you want to just send them at the guy outside?
Send them all at the guy outside.
As you wish. So, first bolt, 5 damage. Second bolt, 4 damage. Third bolt, 4 damage. 15, or that's
13.
9,
13
14.
damage.
14 damage. No, sorry, my bad. 13 damage.
13 damage.
Yes, I'm done.
8 plus 5, 13.
Yes. I was thinking 9 plus 5. What?
Crack. I feel like it just sounded like that too. Like he picked up his hand. How does your magic look? How does your magic missile look? Because I just heard a gat go off, but like, what do you got?
Yeet.
I point my finger at whatever the target is, and a crimson red dart, like actual dart, like dartboard dart, made out of magic, flies towards the target.
I like it.
Ding. Twack, twack, twack.
Sweet.
Nice.
I'm the superhero. I say bullseye.
To get them to start flying, I actually flick my finger like I'm flicking something off my thumb.
Ah, that's cool.
Like when you flick somebody's ear.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how they. That's
Yeah,
how
I like that.
Well, and the way
Or-
magic missile has always been described originally that it works is the darts appear and then you fire them anyways. So I kind of like the idea that like he holds his hand out, they appear, and then flick, flick, flick to shoot them is kind of cool.
Yep.
I can dig it.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do during your turn?
Unless I can magic missile again now.
I don't think you
Alas,
can.
you cannot.
So then it's Lulu's turn. And Lulu is going to fly over to Bearded Devil 3.
The one that's hurting.
Yeah, the one that's hurting. Actually, I'm trying to decide if I want her to use her tusks or if I want her to just trumpet. She's going to try and use her tusks.
Gurk, did you guys see my wand in the in Discord chat?
Yeah.
Do you guys recognize at all what it's based on?
And it's a hit.
My assumption would be the sonic screwdriver.
That's exactly what it's based on. It's a steampunk sonic screwdriver.
Even though I know nothing about that show.
You
This-
should really watch it. It's good.
This little,
I know. Like, that's what I... Oh, sorry.
this little gentle elephant just flies around, charges straight into this devil, and pierces his chest with its tusks.
Gores it?
Yep, she gores it, and when she pulls back out, it slumps onto the stone spikes.
Yay.
Passive 15 insight. What's her body language? Is she like, oh god, I killed something? Or is she kind of like the cat thing in the Lego movie that when she gets mad, like she turns into a vicious, scary monster?
Neither.
I feel like calm, cool, collected is this thing. This thing is like some immortal creature.
This is her duty.
But I guess what I'm trying to figure out is she like upbeat in the fact that this is her duty? Does she feel bad that she just killed somebody in her duty? Is she obviously not a hunter, as you said, because she's not that. You said that she's not really showing remorse for having done it. But is she just blank about it? I guess is what I'm asking.
She is blank.
She has a sociopathic detachment to destroying evil creatures. I am terrified of this thing. Utterly terrified. The most innocent creature we've ever met is a sociopath. That's awesome.
And it's Thurkir's turn.
Lunch. Be careful eating devils.
So,
Their eggs are pretty good, though.
bonus action. He's going to activate Planar Warrior.
Bazing, Gurk. Planar warrior.
Charge up and is going to attack Bearded Devil 2. First attack is a miss. Second attack is a miss. What the heck?
That doesn't happen a
Uh-oh.
lot with him, man.
He's got extra
He read
attack.
the same thing twice.
Yeah, he did, actually. Let me try something. Okay, good. The dice aren't broken.
Okay. They were broken last time. I was worried that just happened again.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so he's going to use he's got extra attack. How does that work again?
So I assume the way he's been doing 2 attacks is his normal attack and then his bonus action attack, or does he just have 2 attacks?
He's dual wielding.
Yeah, so with dual wielding, one of those attacks is a bonus action. Which means he has 2 on-hand attacks since he has extra attack, and then he has 1 off-hand attack because he's dual wielding. With the offhand attack, he cannot do ability stat damage, just it's the normal dice of the weapon, unless he has 2 weapon fighting as his fighting style as a ranger.
He does.
Which I assume he does. Yeah, then he has stat damage to that. So then, yeah, he just has 3 attacks with 2 with his on-hand, 1 with his offhand.
Okay, so he's going to use his inspiration to get advantage on this next attack. Because he's upset now.
Get it. Get it.
And that's a hit. Dropped a 5.
Ouch.
Yeah, take it. Dan?
Okay. So that's 4 from the Kopesh. He's also got Hunter's Mark.
So that's a D6.
1 from the Hunter's Mark. And then he's also got Planar Warrior.
Ouch.
And then 6 from Planar Warrior.
Telling you, you really should take the favored foe, or favored foe optional feature for Ranger for him. He'd be really happy with it.
He does have it.
Well, but I mean, they have favored enemy or favored foe. One of them lets them pick a favorite enemy in terrain or whatever. The other one lets them do a bonus D4 damage once per round to the target they hit.
Oh.
And they can mark any target. They don't have to pick a type of target.
Yeah, that guy in particular is my favorite enemy.
Yeah. It's one of the optional things that got added with Tasha's, and it's on the D&D Beyond builder if you look at the class Ranger features and check optionals. And by Rangers actually got a bunch of not just alternate features, but actual additional features, because it was decided when Tasha's came out that Rangers had actually been underpowered from the start. With all the additions all the other classes had, they had no choice but to actually update the Ranger across the board.
Yeah, Rangers were definitely the meme class.
Yeah. Yeah, well now they're a lot more balanced if you know how to use them. And yours, if with a couple of your optional features that can be taken because of how you play Thurkir, you could do some massive stacking damage.
Yeah.
But it's worth looking into, and I don't take all of them. Like, there's one that adjusts their hide in plain sight ability, and I don't take that one because it's weird. But other ones, like the favorite enemy, or the one that gives you canny knack or whatever, so that you can take expertise in one skill or something. Those are both really good for a ranger. So all I'm saying is Thurkir technically, when he signed the contract, had a chance to upgrade and look at those since we had bought the book. So just saying, in the future, if you want to take a look.
Okay. So I dealt a total of 11 damage to the bearded devil with
Nice.
having missed 2 of his attacks, unfortunately.
Wow, yeah. That's still enough to get his attention when his 2 buddies just got dropped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Pretty sure the first bearded devil we fought had the ability to summon backup, and like I'm feeling like we're killing these guys too quick for them to get a chance to, so I'm a little nervous on this last guy.
So the first devil needs, or let's see, he's an NPC. Do I still make him a death saving throw?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Unless they take massive damage, they do death saving throws. And actually, Fantasy Grounds usually auto rolls that for you. Now, I can't
if they're in the
guarantee that it
combat
just
tracker.
did, but if they're in the combat tracker, it will usually roll them for you and then skip over their turn.
Sure. Okay.
But at the start of their turn, don't they take 2d4 damage for being in the spike growth?
Does that trigger at the start of their turn?
Or is it just when they move?
It's just when they move.
Okay, if it's just when they
'Cause
move,
it
never mind.
says- Yeah, it says travels, not remains.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I still. Okay.
Which means technically, if that last bearded devil could heal his allies, he could make them stand back up.
Mm-hmm. I think if they move out of their 5-foot square, they
They'll
would
take
take the
another
damage.
damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, any movement, they take the damage. I remember reading that, but I've already closed the spell, and it's a pain in the ass to get it back up right now, so.
Yeah, it says travels. It says for the duration when a creature moves into or within the area.
Yeah. So
It takes-
it does
but-
not take it
so
at
maybe-
the start of the turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bearded Devil 1 is still alive. Number 2. Let's see. Oh, that's weird.
I don't know how many spell slots Girk's got left, but if he and I just magic missile the shit out of the corpses, it's all over.
Okay, so the devil in front of Takir looks at his 2 dead allies, looks at the rest of the group, and starts chanting.
Balls.
About 15 feet behind him, it looks like there is a black or part of the walkway looks like it's being engulfed by black or black kind of watery shadows. And he sees something rise out of these shadows. And when he turns to look at it, it is a sign that says, "Fuck you, you owe me money."
Does it say that in Infernal? Because if it does, we can't read it.
Okay, yes, it does say that in Infernal.
So a sign pops up with a message in Infernal. That seems menacing, I say to the crowd. In reality, none of us knows what it actually says.
Actually, Thurkir can speak Infernal and scoffs.
That just made that even better, actually.
I wish I could bring my mug onto the message and have it turned into celestial.
Right? That would make life a lot easier, but we'll get there. We'll get you a comprehend languages spell, and I think you'll feel a lot better. Because then you could just do that, basically.
Either way,
All
the bearded devil shouts something that sounds like terrible. Basically, the absolute worst kind of curse you can imagine.
Even worse, because we're in hell, and they can imagine some pretty terrible things.
Yeah.
But it was an infernal, so the only one that got it was Thurkir. I'm watching Thurkir's body language.
And he looks insulted.
Actually, with an insight of 15, can I tell, because he looks insulted and everything, can I tell it looks like he understands infernal since he hasn't told us that?
Yes.
I actually say to him, what'd he say?
You don't want to know.
That's all I need to know.
Yep. I'm about to say that when I hear Gilwin say that's all I needed to know. And I just nod.
Well, either way, Bearded Devil, let's see. Oh, apparently that doesn't take an action.
Trying to summon doesn't?
Yeah.
Nice. Also, damn.
You owe me money.
I like that. Fuck you. You owe me money.
And he's going to, or his beard actually lashes out at Thurkir.
Boink. Boink.
And misses.
Mrs. How? Did he nat one?
He nat one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he accidentally like grab some spike thorns and pull himself in or something? Because that would be great.
No, his beard's not that long. Basically, it's a DBZ moment. Thurkir just kind of goes left, right, left, left. Dodging every single one of these.
Lashes.
What?
I said just dodging the lashes.
Yep.
Does the guy get a critical fumble out of it at all in any way? I know that the thing has a chart, but it doesn't always trigger.
Yeah. It did trigger, but it wasn't any special effects.
Anything relevant? Yeah.
Correct.
No.
Damn. All right. Whose turn is it?
Well, now I have to roll for Demon 3. Or Devil 3, rather.
Gotcha.
Devil 3 is alive. And now it's Rowan.
Oh. And he's the only one left?
He is the only one left.
Yeah.
Is he still, so I haven't seen an updated map in a while. Is he still on the other side of the spikes from me?
He's directly across from you.
Thorn
Thurkir is one space north. My sword is one space south. I'm one space south of you.
Ew, my thorn whip was low. Plus 14 to AC, or 14 to hit.
That's a hit.
Oh, it is? Fuck yeah. Okay. This is number 2.
Yeah.
Affirmative.
Yes. So I don't have him marked as my favorite foe currently, but I can mark him since my other one is down. What I have to decide before I make that decision is how haggard does he look? Is it worth spending? Does it seem like it would be worth spending one of my limited number of marks to deal a bonus D4 damage?
No.
Hold on, let the GM tell me that. I've got insight and perception and investigate, so let the GM tell me with my knowledge what my character sees.
Good point.
He's getting pretty close, but can probably go, or definitely between.
Does he seem bloodied? I know bloodied is the half hit point status or whatever. Does he seem bloodied to me?
Yes.
Yeah, he does seem already bloodied. Okay, then I won't spend the favorite foe, but he will take the round. So he takes 2d6 plus 3, and I'm going to spend a psychic power point on it. So 13 plus a d6 plus 4. 6. So 13 plus 6 for, what is that, 19. 19 damage with my Thorn Whip, and I pull him 10 feet into the spikes for 44 damage. I need to go to my action page and mark off that I have now spent 2 psychic points. Boop.
For another 12 damage. That was a total of 21 then?
What? No, it was 19 total, added all together.
Right, plus 12. Oh, right. That would make it 31. Because I added additional 12 from the spikes.
Yeah, I did 19 plus the 44, so yeah, 30, 30, that's, yeah, 31.
That was a hell of a hit.
From a whip.
From
Yeah.
a chain, a spiked chain.
And he is unconscious in the spikes on top
Comes
of the
from an
body
extra
of
dimensional
the...
space inside of my, whatever my spell focus happens to be at the time, in which case, at the current moment, it's my wand. Gert, did you get to see it? I didn't hear you say earlier.
No, I did not.
It's in the Discord screen when we get out of chat if you want to look, but it's based on the on Peter Capaldi's Sonic Screwdriver. If it were no, I'm sorry, on Matt Smith's Sonic Screwdriver, if it were steampunk and made out of like silver and gold and brass.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Where do you share it? Share it in Facebook if you can.
Yeah, I can do that.
So the Thorn Whip pulls him into the spikes, and he lands unconscious on top of the body of Bearded Devil 1. And that removes them from combat. Combat over.
Cam, can you
Yes.
dispel it at choice?
Yeah, it's a concentration.
Okay, so the moment you dispel it, like I look at you, like I don't say it, but if you can assume you can read my body language, because don't you have an insight of like 17 or something?
I've got a perception of 17. My insight is, yeah, it's 17.
Yeah, so you can tell from my body language that I'm suggesting for you to break it, to drop the spell. And the moment you do, I walk over and kick every one of them in the head 3 times.
Okay.
Whichever one looks like it might be stabilizing, that's the one I go at first. Curb stop them. I don't even... They're monsters.
Don't give
They were putting them out of the misery.
Okay,
We're not
well,
letting them stand back up. They're done.
We're not here to be heroes. We're here to fuck shit up.
while
Well,
you're...
we are here to be heroes, but we can't... It was pointed out to me blatantly in this fight that we can't save everybody. So we're here to save the ones that want to be saved. Devils don't want to be saved. So fuck them. That's what this fight taught my character. We have a sociopath elephant that is the cute one in the party.
Hell yeah.
Nobody offered a compromise to them except for me, and my character is the lawful evil character when he's in Tallyman mode. So, like, as a lawful evil person, if I'm the only one offering compromise, not the good guys don't want to, then I have to expect and respect that the lawful side of me doesn't require it at the moment.
So while you're dealing with 1 and 2, you turn to deal with 3, and you can already see Thurkir's munching on an arm.
I say to him as he's munching on an arm, you might want to be careful with that. Any moment now, you're going to begin feeling the changes. I explained to everyone in Candlekeep that there are effects that happen when you come into physical contact with devil blood. There's a random roll chart.
I see
take your munching on the arm, and I go, ew, gross. Not even anything to dip it in.
Eat some ranch, man.
I'm trying to think if what book it's in. The Monster Manual, probably. Yeah, I think it's the Monster Manual. I shared, Jaime, by the way, I shared the Monster Manual on Beyond, since it was one of the books you didn't have. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it unless I host a campaign or something for you, but...
Well, I have a physical copy of it.
Yeah, I figured, but... we're looking for library. Open book. For devils. I will get to it in a moment and let you know. I can't remember if it's devil blood or demon blood is the problem, which is why I gotta check this.
It's probably.
Now, it's one of the things Felix wants to go to hell for, is it's something he can mutate people with. Because it causes mutations. Looks like I'm gonna have to be looking in the hard copy, which is annoying, but I have it right here. Somewhere. There it is. Oh, I just dropped one book. That sucks.
I'm gonna try and get some food in me.
See, and it might have actually been in the Descent to Avernus book that I read it in, not the Monster Manual. So, just so you know. There we go. Devils. Oh, for the record, Girk, as far as the rails go, we skipped a lot of the rails already.
Did we?
Yeah, there's a bunch of little cities outside of Baldur's Gate we could have stopped at on the way to Candlekeep, including Little Calamashan, where we did stop. We could have stayed there for a little while.
Oh.
There's NPCs and shit in the back of the book that you can run into.
Okay.
I'm not making this shit up about Iker, dang it. Because it was a whole thing about his ingredients. Felix wanted to use it for ingredients, so. Demon Iker. Nope, that's Demon Iker boost on a vehicle. What? Okay, skip that. Well, we're in roleplay moments anyways, so we can keep roleplaying while I look this up. He's munching. We've defeated the 3. Next, somebody want to go address the woman, maybe?
Yeah, let's go there.
For me. Yeah, and then also laundry, and you have a shower tonight.
You know what? I'm just gonna Google Devil Ichor 5e. Make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, I was just about to as well.
Demon Ichor.
Okay, so it's Demon Ichor.
Looks like it. Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, page 78. Demon Ichor, not Devil Ichor. Okay, now we know. I apologize for interrupting, but at least now we know. So that I say this, and I say that to Thurkir. You know, the mutations are going to start anytime now. Be careful. And then I start to walk away, and I stop, and I look back, and I say, well, maybe that was demons.
No, he would interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
After he finishes swallowing, of course, and says, "He's not demon. I will be fine." Munch.
Tomato, tomato. No, I wouldn't say tomato, tomato. It's not my character. But I just nod at him, sort of like, huh. I assumed the same things applied to both in my character's mind. And I join the others as they're walking towards the girl.
Racist.
There you go, Girk. There's your first clue that they're the same character. Tallyman is also racist. He's not a racist. He's actually an, what do they call it? An equal opportunity. Equal opportunity. What's the word? Starts with P. That's like means racist, but it starts with P.
Prejudice.
Prejudice. He's equal opportunity prejudiced. He thinks that everybody has a reason to suck. He thinks the stereotypes that apply to all races, including his own, are 100% true, and that it's on a people to rise above their stereotypes. So he will treat everyone.
I kind of have reasons.
Go ahead.
I've had some reasons to agree with him in the past. People suck.
I mean, technically, it is a trope to have that view of the world. So that's the trope he's taking.
Yeah.
If you want to have value in his eyes, you have to earn it. Until then, he's going to judge you off of the only thing he can, which is your culture, your race, the things he knows about your people. He's actually based on a 1908 novel called Princess of Mars, where a cavalryman goes to Mars. And obviously he's a Virginia cavalryman, so he's got some very like backwards ideals. But when those ideals come into question, every time he changes. Every time he's like, he's a gentleman about it, a genuine gentleman about it. But like, he's harsh in his negative treatment because he's a Virginia cavalryman.
Yeah. I read all the way through like number 6 recently.
I've only read the first 3 books, which are about him, and then after the third one, they're, you know, about his son or whatever.
Yeah.
Are those the
John Carter of Mars is such a hero.
Are those the John Carter books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you can find those on audiobook, Girk, that would be a good series that you would enjoy because it's very classic. It's a classic, just adventure story.
Yeah, and the guy that reads them, he's got a real solid masculine voice.
You found
They're
some?
out there. I listen to most of them on Scribd. I listen to most
We
of
ended
them
up
on
in a
Scribd,
tangent.
which is-
A huge tangent. So you begin to approach the lady, and she emerges from her from a hiding spot with a longbow. With a longbow in hand and reaching for an arrow from a quiver. When she sees that it is You approaching, she no longer, or she stops reaching for the arrow and looks to visibly relax.
The butter. Are we outside of initiative?
Okay, here.
Affirmative.
The butterfly shield creature on my arm detaches itself from my arm and actually flies, and it floats over to her and her children in a very like kind of insecty, but like in a butterfly sort of way, and just sort of like drifts in the air and tries to politely get their attention in a very. It's friendly. I mean, it's like Lulu. Outside of combat, it's a little sweetheart, innocent kind of creature. Minimal intelligence. It's really like an insect. In a lot of ways, and so it just floats around like a butterfly and will kind of like land in front of them, and if they approach it, it'll like float back, but it specifically tries to get the kids' attention in a friendly way. Does she look injured, the woman, or the kids for that matter?
Not per se, but she does look, or they do look exhausted, and the woman looks like she's extremely hungry.
Ooh. I want to cast
Say,
Goodberry.
anybody got any food? As I'm saying, anybody got any food? He's already casting Goodberry. He's got a higher insight than me, so I totally believe he had already beat me to that thought process. I super love that I came to this game thinking my character had some really great senses, and you have a higher perception and insight than me.
Nice.
I can connect the dots better than you because of my investigate, but you can spot.
I was gonna say your
dots a lot
investigate's better
easier.
than mine. Yeah.
I have
Just wait. First time I get to spend a skill for it, I'm going to get skill expert, and I'm going to take expertise in perception, and then in insight, which will give me a 20 in insight passive, and then my next feat, which I will get those pretty close together because I have a fighter, so I can get them within 2 levels. I'm going to spend a feat on observant, which gives me a flat +5 to my passive perception and investigation, meaning I will have a 25 perception and investigation passive, which means I have basically legendary passive. I will never have to make a roll for perception or investigate again at that point. The only way to roll higher than what I have is a nat 20.
Yeah.
But that's the point of this character. Anyways, so if they just look tired, Gilwyn offers the good berry. Do they take it?
Sorry, I was verifying that Oreo was done with his call. Could you repeat that, please?
He gave the good berry to the family. Do they take it? Well, multiple good berries, I assume, since he can cast it.
Yeah, I would just cast 10 of them and hold them. Yeah.
Oh, how many can you create?
Up to 10. So I would just cast 10 and yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. That'll come in really handy as we meet survivors out here.
Yeah.
Do you mind using a spell slot? Out of game, I'm asking. Do you mind using a spell slot for the roleplay purposes of protecting the family or whatever? The people we meet?
I don't mind. I basically filled my level 1 spells up with healing spells.
To me, that's role playing. To me, making a decision like that, which down the road might bite us in the butt because you don't have that spell slot, quote unquote, bite us in the butt. That's role playing. I'm really happy you did that. Once again, this is one of those. If I had an inspiration, I would feed it to you.
Okay, so she accepts, consumes the berry. Well, she accepts. Make sure to offer them to her kids first before eating a berry, and it looks surprised at how full she is.
I would also offer him to anybody else that may want one.
I look over my shoulder to Fick and I say, anything? Do we have anything they can drink?
Yeah.
I know that you're the guy with the massive stack of. You joked that the way your rations are the best rations in the world, or whatever. So that's why I'm asking you.
And
I would say they need something to drink.
A water skin.
You just hand her a water skin.
Yeah, because it's either that or fine wine.
Oh, yeah. I guess we don't necessarily want to give them wine. Well, I mean, we can give her wine, I guess.
She offers it to her.
Water is
She offers it to her children first, which they're twin sons.
Oh, she's giving it to the kids. I'll definitely give them wine.
Are the kids tiny or small?
We will say that they're maybe about 10 years old.
I was actually being specific with their sizes for a reason. So would you define them as tiny, small, or medium?
I don't
a 10-year-old
know.
would be small.
I'm assuming small.
Okay, never mind.
A baby or a toddler would be tiny.
Okay, I accept that. Fair. I was asking because if they were tiny, I am a small creature. I was going to throw one on my shoulder the way Kirk rides around Gilwin, but they are my size. I would look at the mom.
Roughly.
I would look at the mom and say, "Do you have somewhere safe we can go? If not, we have someplace safe to take. We can take you."
Well,
Or can we take? Do you have somewhere safe to go, or can we take you somewhere safe?
there is. We've been hiding in the basement of a tavern, but the provisions ran out, and we were forced to try and look for more. I didn't want to just leave my boys in there alone.
Well, I can tell you that we have access to limited supplies. However, would you know where supplies might be located nearby that we could? Out of game, I'm looking for a better word than steal, but acquire, provision, something like that.
Acquire. Acquire.
Yeah, I think that might just be the best word. That we can use to better our situation. Out of game, basically, she said she's out looking. Maybe she has an idea of where we can find supplies to increase what we already have.
There was a store down the street, 3 blocks further. I was hoping to see if maybe there was some kind of provisions there, but from what I heard from other survivors, this side of Elturel is very much worse off. Honestly, our best bet would be to try and make it to the west side.
And we're currently in the east side. I would say I would just nod at her. I would look back at the group and see if they had an opinion. But despite my mask and everything, my opinion is plain. I obviously want to take her back to the base we have here because God knows she may have. We're in hell. She may have already sold her soul for all we know. She could be leading us into a trap if we try to trust her. So I think we need to get her to a safe base. We will then go after the store that she suggested, is my sort of idea. And then we can report back to her and our party, our caravan, with what we find at the store after the fact. Because we're only like a block from where we made base camp with the caravan. And the store's 3 blocks away. So getting her back and then going after the store ain't that bad.
Fine with me.
Plus, going back now to our base camp would be a good spot to wrap up for the night.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So are we all in accord?
I guess.
One of the last things I do was pull out my dagger. And it's kind of brutal, but it is what it is. Or, I'm sorry, my hand axe. And I behead the bodies and actually put them at the end of the block, just like I either tie their hairs together, their beards, whatever, on a display on a light post. I don't care. It's sort of the
Hello,
idea
my name
of
is
spearing the
Robert.
head of my enemy. It's sort of a warning. Like, we just dropped 3 bearded devils. Like, send your worst.
Or don't. We're cool with
Or
both.
don't. Or don't. So, I mean,
the
we're
other
cool
two-
if you don't. But my character has, like I say, proficiency in intimidate. So, like, I'm going to play up the whole
Okay.
trying to be scary thing.
After you make the decision to go back and chop off their heads, you actually see Thurkir milking one of their beards.
Milking one of their beards?
Yes, it appears to be producing a type of liquid.
That's vile.
That's really, really, like, I don't even know what to say to that. Can I roll intelligence plus my alchemy proficiency?
Sure.
Where's my character sheet? Boop. Boop. So that's a d20 plus 4 plus my proficiency bonus. So d20 plus 7. Yeah, 11. So I rolled on the easy side of whatever that roll would be.
Ticket we did. Try the
Unfortunately, you still don't know
land
why he's
side
doing what
of
he's doing.
IDs or the land.
It just kind of
come
looks
back and
gross.
I walk up and I literally say, "Interesting kink, my friend."
If
And I grab one of them by
Is-
its beard, tangle it up in my hand, sort of like hair, you know, and lift its head. And that's when I give it the Colombian necktie.
routing
Careful.
land set.
With
Careful. Poisonous. And he continues to milk.
Given my alchemist proficiency, I obviously don't have a poisoner's kit proficiency. But given my alchemist proficiency, is it assumed that in my alchemist kit I would have? Never mind. This is a perfect point for my sonic screwdriver all-purpose tool to do its thing. And I go, not a problem. And I stand to the side. I push the button on my wand. The head sticks out to about the length of a rod. I point it at the creature's neck. No, I pointed at the creature's tentacles. And I realize he's milking the poison. Like, that just makes sense to me now. I have to assume I know where that stack is, because the moment I use this thing's ability, I gain proficiency in the tool it creates. And what it created is a poisoner's kit. So my device currently functions as a poisoner's kit.
I gotta read
It will for the next 24 hours.
Sometimes if they get too full, they don't cook fast enough.
Let me see how long that lasts. Inventory. Widget wand. Hey, get off my screen, you. Widget wand. Or can transform into a variety of tools. As an action, I touch the end and transform it to any type of artisan's tool of my choice. I'm proficient with it. It doesn't say how long. It says how long the cantrip ability of this is, but not how long this ability is. I'm going to assume it's once per long rest, okay? And then
Makes
I will
sense.
double check. I will double check the version, the actual thing that I took this off when I made my leveling ability and make sure I copied it correctly because I might have just missed a paragraph or something. But I'm going to assume once per long rest. Anyways, the tool will function as a poisoner's kit that I'm proficient with. Poisoner's kit is an intelligence, so I will make an intelligence poisoner's kit check to safely decapitate them without poisoning myself.
Okay.
$19.
You do not poison yourself.
Hot dog. I don't really care about getting poison ingredients, so I look at him and say, do you want these before I hang them up? Before I string them up?
He caps the vial that he was filling up, puts it in a pocket and said, nope, I got what I need.
Cool. I string them together and I lash them to a light post.
Okay, well, you saved Harkina and her two sons. Let me get their names. Izo and Brask.
Nice.
And you bring them to safety in the camp.
Nice.
Did
we level up?
No.
We never level up, Carl.
I know.
Leveling up is an illusion.
I thought you leveled up last session.
We leveled up like 5 sessions ago.
It was more like 3, maybe 4.
Either way.
We leveled up right before Candlekeep.
Okay. Either way, the dangers of Avernus are ever present and obvious, but there is some level of hope as there are still normal humans wandering around, fighting the good fight. Whether your impact could be, or whether you can make an impact or not, is yet to be seen. So maybe we'll find out next time on Dungeons and Dragons.
Alright, guys, I love you. I gotta go.
Love you.
All right,
I gotta go too.
Have a good
I hope
night.
you guys had a fun night. I certainly did.